Yo, are y'all dorking it over there?
How do you dork it?
We're joking it. We're
You
joking
go
it.
right and left click a lot together at the same time.
Oh
Right and
my
left.
god.
Look down. Look down. Look down.
Is there a
You can't-
POC
You
DLC,
can't tell, but it
please?
looks good from
Is it
Chat.
working?
They're jorting it. I think
And
it's
then-
PG-13 today in all of our chats.
And then if
Oh
you
my
if you're
God.
done, you can press E.
E?
Wait, hello.
I'm rolling the dice. Woo!
Wait, I forgot how to dork it.
I forgot.
Wait, I forgot.
What did I join in on?
Hi. Hi, Ron.
Wait, I forgot.
Oh, wow.
Circle jaw. Circle jaw.
Oh my god.
Wait, I only know how to
Am I doing it?
how to throw the dice.
This is just
Oh
a
my
reminder
God.
that today's stream is PG-13.
Tears in
I'm
my
sorry,
eyes.
everyone.
I think I laughed so hard that it upset my cat.
Oh.
Well, I wanted cyan, but somebody took it.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I have created the color wars here. Here, take cyan. I'll take yellow.
Can you
Here.
Wait.
Wait.
You don't want to be white.
Get out.
I thought you'd be white.
No, I'll be white.
I'm
No.
responsible for their marriage.
I thought Tony would be white because Tony's grey in Among Us.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I have really an assigned color still.
Yeah, but you're always grey. I'm picking orange, but my color was stolen by Zep, and now I'm whatever. I'm banana now. But
You're
banana.
banana.
But like,
I don't like this one. I need to fix this.
I can be yellow.
Body.
I think yellow matches my vibe. Oh, but my hair color's a bit better.
Default A, B,
Wait.
C. Where are these other ones?
Wait,
No, that's too plain.
No, I think I want to be orange.
If we were PG-13 or family friendly.
Oh yeah, I meant to turn the family
Let me
friendly
just
tag
pick
off.
up
I
this
do not
pick up.
intend to be family friendly. I was
I don't
dorking
have
it.
Chad, is this cute?
Sorry, fellow
What?
chatters.
Hey!
We're
Sorry, Stella Justice.
I feel like other people are wearing sweaters, so maybe I should do this
Family
one.
friendly.
I think they need more colors for sure. I also thought that you could do multiple colors but just like look different, but I guess not.
The family friendly tag is off.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Shell is always family friendly.
I thought.
I could do
maybe
regular
maybe
blue or
maybe
yellow.
plus.
I'm gonna look at the regular blue.
That was wrong.
Oh, I hate it. I don't like it.
What?
Saucy.
Stop dorking it.
I'm doing an 18
No,
plus book club.
I think I'm gonna do the white one instead.
You did say that you were a rotten
White.
girl, so...
I am a rotten girl.
Oh! Can I please have another invite? I accidentally closed out. You don't want me to have what color? Fine. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Actually, I don't know if I can go back in with that same invite. Okay, I got it. I'm back. I'm back. We're so back.
I say.
We're so back. We're so back. Hello.
Back.
Hello, back.
Uh-oh. Dead.
Hold on.
Dead.
I can see everything from up here.
Okay,
My dog
we're
has
good
been on
now.
the ground this whole
By the
time.
way-
I just need everyone to know that.
This is kind of crazy.
Is this everything you ever wanted this to be?
This is kind of crazy.
Thanks for the
I'm
follows.
afraid.
Give me pink. I'm rage quitting.
It sounds like Mass Effect. That's why I like the music so much.
Oh, pull info.
Oh, it does.
Stranger Things.
I was about to say, yeah, it gives me the
Yeah,
80s
yeah.
Stranger
Yeah.
Things vibes.
Do you want to
Yeah,
Come
I
down
was
from
gonna
your,
say
your
things.
tower ruins us.
Wait, what is this screen?
Great.
What is this?
I'm sorry. I
Oh.
swear
I'm
to
trying,
soon.
I'm
I
trying.
I've had to update my sub
I'm
goal like
trying.
You are
four
so
times.
fine. You enjoy yourself.
It'll be easier to.
You get birthday. You get loved on.
Who put this on?
Cut this out. Is this out? Is this
Let me
not
pick
for
your
you?
nose.
Oh my gosh! I have
Is
a.
it not-
I
do you
have
not
a-
like
What's
this?
that on your sweater?
I can't look at myself.
I don't want to die, so I'm gonna stop jumping around.
I don't know what you're
But like
talking
over
about.
here.
Oh, that.
But like over here.
Oh.
You know, like you could look at yourself. This is I see me.
Yeah,
but you
Yeah,
see
this
you.
is me.
lobster. I can't believe the purple sweater is the only one that has a lobster on it.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
just, I
pretty
think,
crazy.
I think it's like a sign, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
sign that you should have bought that personally.
Okay.
Big
All right. How are we
lobster
feeling? Are we
fan.
ready?
We're ready.
Go.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, we feel good.
Oh, wait. Are you? Do you need?
Is everybody
Did you already
here?
explain
1,
stuff
2,
to
3,
people, or
4,
are
5,
you
6,
gonna?
7. There's 7 of us. That seems right.
Throw me the
I
wolves, I
tried to
don't
get
know.
Krub to play, but he refunded his game, so
What?
he will not be joining us ever
Why?
again.
What?
He hates this game. He actually hates this game. He went on like a
Why?
30-minute rant about why
Really?
he hates this game. He hates
Why?
every game.
That's his
Krub,
problem.
let's be honest.
Well, maybe I hate Krub.
So
Yeah.
true.
So
Wow,
sounds
you
like
said
he
it.
values
You
said it.
$100 over
Yeah.
spending time with his friends.
Dissociating.
So
Mhm.
He likes hanging out with his friends, but you know what? It's fine.
Yep.
This is not his type of game. I got him in for one, and that's
Yes.
what matters.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
all
it
that
is.
Matters. All right.
I was
Why
too
is
trigger
my
We're
happy.
gonna
kinda wet
start. Do any of you want
though.
like a rundown of how this is gonna work?
Yeah.
Okay, it's been updated.
Okay.
Sure.
General thing.
Thank you.
We load in. Let me see our session settings right now. We're gonna do beginner for the first one. Basically, we have 8 minutes. There is going to be one dissonant, which is like the imposter. But here's the
Only
thing:
one?
anyone
Okay.
can kill anyone. You do not have to be a imposter to kill someone. You could just be stabbing left
You
and
just
right
do
if
it.
you want.
Oh,
You
I
can
love
just do
that.
whatever you want.
Love that.
Highly recommend,
Uh-huh.
honestly, having something to defend yourself
IRL.
before somebody does try to kill you. I think that's a pretty good goal. There's like weapons and stuff found throughout the map. There's
can
going to be
bludgeon
0 to 2
Yes.
tasks for us to do. Basically, if you hit Q, you'll have like a map. It'll bring your tasks up. There's no respawn. Basically, like if you die, you die.
Okay.
You die in real life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Sorry, you did
dude.
sign. when
Oh,
you
I'm
signed
so
the
ready.
contract
Take
to
me
play
out.
today, that was on the contract.
Yeah.
So.
I
I
did
didn't
not read the
um,
contract.
I didn't notice
Well,
this until just
question
now,
was
but
seven
it has the date and current time in the corner. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that is cool.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go.
Oh,
my
yeah.
friend is meowing.
In
I think
24-hour
it's
time.
She's okay.
When
Yeah.
you're a dissonant, it will say on the side like dissonant, like on the top right corner where everyone's names are. It'll say like dissonant for you.
And that
if
means
you have-
imposter,
if there's
right?
Two of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
And if there is 2 dissonants, which there won't be for the first round at least, if there's 2, your other like imposter / dissonant will have a red dot over their head. So don't be like, why do you have a red dot over your head? Because then honestly, that kind of just,
Okay.
All right. Are we ready? This is gonna be good.
Ready.
I'm
Also,
feeling
your
good.
stamina is your health. Use it wisely.
You do regain
You
health,
get
I
it back?
noticed.
You do regain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
Okay.
slowly.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't
So
get
don't run everywhere. Maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'll hold your hand.
Unless we
like
want
real
to.
life.
When you're
Great.
getting
It's gonna
chased,
go really, really
someone's
well.
trying to murder you and you're trying to
Just
run
like
away.
real life.
Yeah.
I
The amount of times
mistake.
someone tries to kill you and you die because you run away and jump,
That's hilarious.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's really funny.
Yes. Yes. All right. We're ready. We got this.
What the heck
We're gonna do.
is- what
We're gonna do
the-
really good.
Oh, how do
Yeah.
we ready up?
What? Have you not? Are you not?
You don't even have to.
Are you not on that one?
Yeah,
Oh.
you actually don't even have to
Alright,
ready
go.
up.
Oh, okay. Good.
Also, I think after people came in and said,
Ooh.
Gabby.
Pretty.
We're clocking in.
I'll be pissed if someone stabs me on Emrys's birthday.
Yeah, that would be awful. Hey, come here. No, I'm just kidding. Gonna get you.
Pretty involved. We can go and work on that together if you want.
Okay, yeah.
And I could kind of walk you through it
Okay, let's go.
this way.
Okay.
You're gonna kill me, Mama. Be honest.
No.
So is this where I am right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Chat, I'm just figuring it out. Is this something I'm supposed to be doing? Okay. Analysis 2. Okay, so I'm in the wrong room. Vents. So can you use vents then? All right, hold on. Hello?
Hello. Have you found any weapons?
No.
We have to find jars.
Do I have to go in
Where
here?
are you too?
We have
Hello.
to find jars, which
Hello.
are in jars. Should be in like the storage room, the like shipping room.
Oh, is that orange?
So we gotta go get like jars. Yeah, it's orange. And there's like
Songs?
there's it has all the.
So I'm assuming these tasks are group tasks and not individual tasks. This is huge.
Sometimes there's a trigger, sometimes they're not. If you see it will. Whoever is holding this or wherever this is, if you just hit the trigger once, it will blow up. So
Yeah.
I don't have it, but I'm just gonna put it there.
Oh. I thought it was ready to blow.
I was like, just so everyone's aware.
Oh.
Guys, I found a
bottle.
gun. Who should I shoot?
Okay.
For the scream.
Take me out.
Oh, these-
Oh! What is going on?
Oh my god! Did you kill someone?
No, Emerald just shot me.
But you have a gun. I thought there was only one gun.
Whoa, never mind!
This is the shotgun.
There's two!
Other one. Well, I mean,
Emerald
you
has
have a
the
gun. I
shotgun.
think it was self-defense.
Well, we got
I
locked
think.
in. Where are the jars?
Okay,
Oh, I
Emerald
have
just
one,
taken me the
but we
whole
need
time.
another one.
What do they look
Dan,
like?
get out of here. I'm trying to teach it. Oh, look at my hand.
Oh, I found one.
Oh yeah. And then you pick it up
How
with
do I
a
grab
left click.
Oh,
Okay, and then come with me. Come with me.
I'm hearing guns. I'm hearing guns.
just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're locking in. We're locking in.
Locking in.
We're learning. We're learning. We're locking in.
To begin with, and then
Is this?
you
Oh no. Okay.
shot
Every
me
time
with
I
it.
walk.
Also, wait. Look, I would like everyone to be known. I would like it to be known. Look here, shrimp. Look at this, shrimp.
Yeah.
Shrimp?
Shrimp up here.
shrimp.
Watch this.
Oh, it does say shrimp.
What
That
is
is a lobster.
That's the shrimp.
Oh! What just? Tony?
No, that was Dan.
Wait,
Yeah, it was Dan.
where did he come from?
I don't know. I don't have a gun.
What am I
don't have a
holding?
gun.
What am I
Yeah,
holding?
you have a gun. Hold,
This-
hold right click.
Okay, but I don't want to
It'll-
aim it
it'll
at
let
you.
No, that's fine. It'll inspect it.
Oh, there's
So-
no weapon
oh,
ammo. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Dan definitely killed Emerus.
Are you sure? Or the lobster was a bomb?
No. I have a bomb in my hand.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So I mean, you could die if this explodes. By the way, actually, you will die if it explodes.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna go this way. All right, bye. See you later. I didn't see Dan. Where did that happen? Hey. Where? Where's everybody?
Thing. It does
Hi.
get a lot easier, but
So something happened, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emrys is
Oh.
dead. No,
Where?
Emrys is dead.
Emrys,
That's
hold on, over
unfortunate.
here. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
how do I
do
do
the
this
thing.
then?
Emrys is dead because Emrys was showing us a shrimp lobster, and then Tony said that Dan came over and shot, but I didn't see Dan. So Emrys is dead.
Analyze in there. Oh, okay.
Analyzing. I don't know what to do about Emerald's body. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, are we supposed to do something?
I don't know.
We have to like. Oh yeah. Okay.
There's-
So put that.
Is that blood? I didn't see anything. Can I? I'm just flipping the thumbs up to Emrys's corpse. Are we sure that cod shrimp fishing? Are we sure this isn't gonna make me blow up? I'm gonna give this to Shella. So like if it blows up, then it'll blow up on Shella.
Here.
Where's Wash?
Good
I'm ready.
question.
Look at me doing
Hi.
fire.
Shella, I have a
Think right
present
here.
for
Okay,
you.
we did it. So now we
Shella.
gotta wash. Now we gotta wash a thing. Oh.
It's shrimp.
I'm being threatened.
How? Where do we wash them?
Oh.
Wait, I think it's over here. Oh.
Blow up?
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Oh,
It just
are we-
blew up.
There we go. Oh,
Olive, hi. How are you doing? Good to see you.
what is happening?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention to the task we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, somebody's doing vents. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this.
Oh.
Okay. How do should I do something to empty this container?
I think you have to analyze it.
I don't want to mess it all up.
But it's in game. It says it's a shrimp. That is clearly a lobster. I also have to do vents too, but I don't know where there's a
Okay, this is where you clean the jars. if
cleaning the
anybody
jars.
cares.
Okay. No, I care.
What am I looking for?
I care. I care.
WX2? WX2, is that what we need? Okay. This.
Oh, yeah, there's no way.
Got it,
All right, I'm
got
going
it,
to try and
I
look
got
for
it.
a
I got it.
Momo, where would you find
I got it.
what is it called? A thing to fix the vents, the thing. Screwdriver.
Screwdriver?
Yeah,
In the storage room or like the orange box room?
the orange box room. Okay.
Or
Thank
the,
you.
Or the blue room. I don't know, one of those.
Okay. Oh, down here. Oh no, this is where somebody else has died. What is going on? So it was Tony. It was Tony.
Violet?
Help me.
It's Tony?
It's Tony. It's
Oh my
Tony.
God. Tony.
It's your husband. happened? Tony said it was Dan, and I was like, I didn't see him.
How do we kill a killer?
I don't know. Can we stab him? Oh,
Does
I
that
think I can
even
do
let
something
us
with
win?
this. No, I think we have to
Oh, I
now
found a gun.
track him down. Grab the gun.
Okay,
It should
don't kill me, please.
it should be
Please.
loaded. Do I have to do something here?
Do you want me to be the bait?
Me? Who?
No, me.
Yeah.
Tony.
You can
Hey,
stab?
Tony.
Okay.
Tony, I have a question. Tony, I have a question for you. Hey, Tony, I have a question. I have a
Oh,
question.
I also have a gun.
You just realized that? No! Run! Run! That's an explosive thing!
Oh,
No?
there's no ammo in here.
Oh, that's bad.
What's that?
Mm.
What was the question?
Anyway, we're about to lose because we only have 15 seconds left, so
Yeah.
good run.
Can we just kill it?
No!
You could like hit him with an object.
What just happened to me?
Oh, you could kill him. You could kill him with the screwdriver.
Yeah, get him. Get
Yeah,
him.
stab you! Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Well, we got him. We got him.
Okay, this is like a lot more complicated than Among Us.
I was so locked in. Hey,
That
I
was
finished
beginner.
analysis,
I
by
can't-
the way.
It was me.
Tony!
Tony.
Tony!
Oh, well, you were
Tony.
dead.
You
Yeah.
gaslighted me so hard.
Still.
You're like, oh yeah,
Why?
Dan just came around the corner, and I was looking, I was staring at Emerus the whole time.
Maybe I should watch the task.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
I should have
Dan did kill Emerus.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
and-
you?
And guess who the imposter was? Emrys.
Yeah.
What?
Caught. It was me.
Really?
Look at it.
Really?
Yeah.
Killing
I
Dan in the
was
process.
there.
I was
doing
no,
tasks,
no,
and you
no,
killed
no, no,
me.
Oh my god, I didn't
I
see
did
you at
the
all.
Because no one
Oh,
else
I
was doing it,
did.
and then I
Okay.
died.
Got it.
I was watching you be a professor. It was kind of hot.
Yeah, I am.
Hey,
I'm in the.
hey, hey,
Tony,
hey,
out of the
I
way.
could have done this
Hey, watch
event
this,
once,
watch
I'm not
this.
gonna lie about it.
yo, wait, watch this.
You need a screwdriver. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, Shella walking into the lab.
I feel like I shouldn't have watched that just now.
Tony's head, like, hey, Tony.
Oh, you can watch for $5.
You just gotta get used to
Yo.
it. Yeah, that's so fair.
Sorry, yeah, 5
Wait,
gifties and
oh.
then we do a front row
Yeah,
drink.
Wait, which one
Give
is this?
Emrys a sub.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
just-
This is the
It's
same. This is Vents. I pressed this.
It's
Yeah,
because
I
so I
read
guess it
So
has
wait,
to do
okay,
with
wait.
like
More
just the
guns.
time
So,
in the
You
game.
need to put a thing
So
inside.
it'll still
inside
go?
the
You need to
More
find
guns?
the bad filter.
There are-
a bad
okay, so
filter.
there's guns.
There's
Okay,
the bad
and then
filters.
and then it was
Yeah.
like
that
a
start,
red and blue thing.
And then there's like
is
little
that the
gun,
filter?
like
So
caches
the bad
that open
filters
up
are the
throughout
ones
the
that are
round.
red.
That
The
makes
blue
sense.
ones
Yeah.
are fine. But
Okay,
you find a red
okay,
one,
yeah.
you
Yeah, you have to
unscrew
put
it,
like
you
a
take
code.
it out,
I
you
don't
put it
really
to
know
the
how the
vent
caches
clean,
work,
the
but-
cleaner thing, and then you
Yeah,
bring
there's
it
In
back.
the
I just
Yeah.
want more
oh, you
guns.
clean it. Where's the
Yeah.
cleaner?
You clean it.
Knives are good.
It's
if
in
you
the
find a
corner
knife,
in the
knife
blue
good.
room.
Screwdriver.
Okay,
Blue room,
also
okay.
good.
I'm sure it'll be
Screwdriver's
great.
like a negative.
Yeah.
Basically, if you right
and you
click
can
on
you
any
can watch
item that
the
you're
videos
holding, it'll tell you how much damage
mid-game,
it
by
does.
the way.
Oh,
you
you
watch it on
can?
the
Yeah.
iPad.
Yeah.
Where do you
Okay.
where do you pull it
I
up
love
from?
The iPad baby.
Oh,
When
on the
when you pull out
iPad.
your tablet.
Oh,
and
the
you
task
click on the
tutorials?
task-
baby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you click on the
Sick.
task, it'll
Okay.
show you.
Oh,
Okay.
neat.
Cool, cool,
Okay.
Thanks for avenging
That's
me.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
actually.
All right, I'm definitely gonna
Like,
keep doing that then.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, all right, we ready? We
I'm
good?
ready.
I'm ready.
Do we
I'm
want to
ready.
just do a beginner again and then go
Yeah.
from there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
no.
Oh no!
Okay, okay.
A dead Englishman.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. You have to make sure you finish all the tasks before the time runs out. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I'm locked in. I am locked in.
I'm locked in. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna go get tools. All right, chat. We're actually doing it this time. Oh, this is the filter washing station. Okay, great. Okay. Now I need. If I was a. What was that? What's that tool called again? If I was a thing. If I was this, I would have me. Fantastic. I'm already doing so great. Oh, I don't do vents this time. God damn it! All right, I'm gonna do the computers instead. Computers. Well, I want to get to the area. So we're gonna go out, and we gotta go to the yellow area. I'm gonna give myself a tool. Computers? Computers. Hello, computers. Hello.
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 Hello. Do you think they have keep sushi down? It seems like there was a lot of them going to do that.
I don't think they do. Oh, can't do anything here.
That's not good.
All right, computers.
So we have to find the one that actually says it.
Yes, I'm here. Yes. Like how they're telling me where to go. Okay. Press what? Ready to send medical. Oh, press yes to send. Oh. Okay, so I basically have to go to a computer that's on? Question mark? Computer office 1. I don't really get
What do
this
we got going
one.
on here?
I guess it's not that, but oh my god, you scared me. There's nothing, unless they already did it. Did you already do computers? None of the stuff is on. Oh, here we go. Press Y to send file. Waiting file verification from storage. Where would storage be? Oh. You have to go around. This is like a maze. I think there's only one map. Oh, storage is the orange area. Okay. I think I'm behind everybody else. I think they're all already running.
Where the heck? Oh, no. Oh.
Oh,
Press
no.
Y to verify file. Okay, wait. File successfully verified. Waiting confirm from office file. Okay, success. Okay.
So is it done?
Oh, computers is done.
Oh,
okay, So
awesome.
now it's just sushi.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to the
Okay.
green. So is that what we did before?
Yes.
Okay.
After there's gray. Oh no, what's going on?
What's going on?
Who is it?
Oh, God! Ah!
He's the murderer!
Run! Do you hear this? Bimini, hi! How are you? It's not my birthday today, but it's my beautiful friend Emerus's birthday today. Thank you so much, though. I hope you're having the best day. It's my first time playing.
You killed all my friends!
I would never.
Wait,
I witnessed it!
wait, what happened to my... Does anybody have a thing? I'll take this. Where did they go? Friends, I've come to save you!
I killed him! I got him!
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I killed him.
Oh,
It was tough work, but I did.
here, just some extra. Is it just you and I left?
No, I think Mib is still alive.
Okay.
I think I saw Mib somewhere in storage.
Okay.
I don't know.
We still have to
I'm
do
gonna- We
Pizushi.
still have to do. Yeah.
I don't know what that
is the
means.
other one finished?
Yeah, computers is done.
I'm a Pizushi master. Oh god, I need. What do I need?
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Is this the stuff they were doing before? I'm here! What do I do? What do I do? Bimini! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome on in! Hello! Hi, Captain, Tsunami Bear, Exit. Hi, friends. If you're new here, hey, hi, hello. I am playing this game for my friend Emerson's birthday today for the first time. I'm so excited. We usually play cozy variety games over here on Twitch. We have anonymous follows on if you'd like to join the party anytime. Thank you so much! Bibbidi, what were y'all up to today? How's BG3? Who are you dating? What is your class? What is your race? I love tieflings, I love bards, and I love Astarian. Let's discuss. Okay, so I'm here for computers, but I don't know... What am I doing? I know my microphone is disabled. I don't want to talk to the game right now. No, wait, that's still computers. It's this one I need. Okay. Shadowheart. Oh, I love it. Vampire Daddy has your heart. Hell yeah. Thank you so much again. That seriously means so much to me. Let me make sure. I don't know if I'm already following you. I am not. So let me rectify that right now. I cannot wait to catch a stream. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going over here. I need plants. Okay, blue plants? Okay, so don't touch the plants. I have to go to storage and get the jar. There's no way. We have 2 minutes left. How am I going to do that? Okay. There's no way. There's no way. Pizza is the gray area?
Okay.
Oh, you have jar. Okay, you have jars?
Yeah, I'm trying to find black rice because it's not in storage, so I feel like somebody else picked it up and now it's just somewhere next to somebody's dead body.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't see it at all.
No.
That's a battery.
It-
We're so cooked.
It's so over for us.
Also, I haven't seen Miv.
Miv?
Yeah.
Really? I swear I saw Miv.
Oh.
Miv,
Miv!
where are you?
We have a
Is
minute
that it? Is
left.
that it?
We're
Oh my
gonna
God, I found
die.
it. Oh my God,
Oh,
that's
you got
the-
it?
Oh no, how do I put this knife down?
Just throw it. Here, I'll take it.
I don't think we're gonna do this in a minute though.
No.
I don't think we got this. Okay. Rice.
Oh. Poor Shella and her lobster.
Rice. Yeah.
Seaweed. Okay.
Okay. Rice. Oh, seaweed. And I think it said shrimp. Right?
Wait, did I
We
did I
need a
drop?
shrimp.
What happened to my
Shrimp.
knife?
But
Oh,
I- Sometimes if you hit like a button, it'll.
it just like, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and then I
Bibbidi,
need- what
thank
did
you
we
so
need? It was, like,
much.
bead-
Please go take care of yourself. Thanks again for the raid. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oop.
Oh my God, wait, sorry.
Shrimp, and then B04. I got him on it. B04.
I want to find Miv to see if I can stab. There's not enough time! I wanted to murder! I killed the air. That's what I'm saying. It's not a shrimp, that's a lobster.
Sushi.
What's that in
Oh,
your
that
hand?
was so close.
I almost got one.
You almost did it.
How do
I
I
almost did
how do
it.
I attack?
I was cheering for
We
you.
were-
I
Okay,
love
to
this
attack you need to have an
dreaming.
item in your hand. You can
Oh,
plug in an item.
that's how I found
but you
it.
can't just
I could
punch.
feel
I don't
your
really know
screen
why you
from the
can't
behind.
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
It makes
So
so
you
much
need an
sense.
item and you can blood people.
And then is it?
I
is it
don't
just, like,
appreciate
go
it.
as quick as it?
I think
But
you
I
just
managed
click
to do
it.
well. I
think
killed
you
the
click
bin.
it.
got it.
Yeah.
I did it.
did. I saw that. That was really good.
Have
And then
a
Momo and I
look at
struggled with the last task.
I accidentally drop
Yeah.
things all the
I
time.
was really
Did you
brave.
have to
What?
pay for that hair?
Yes. I paid $10
Okay,
for it.
Wow.
Wow.
Expensive.
The world is
For you.
bald.
And I think I look cute.
Bald! Bald! Bald!
It's upsetting my
Hair.
soul.
Bold. Bold.
You
I
know
don't
what?
like it.
Bald is
I don't,
bald
I'm not
is
into
beautiful.
it. If you could
Okay.
believe it.
Bold.
Yeah, I'm
Bold.
just saying it.
So wait, can you have
Bold.
like, can you get more like feminine hairs, or did the hair just like
Well,
peek
even
out?
hair.
This,
I think it's
this
just
is
that.
the feminine. This is the feminine.
Oh,
hair.
I didn't know that.
It's just-
So
I think my eyebrows being so bushy and scary doesn't help.
No, it does not. It does
You're
not.
scary looking. Hi.
Hi.
Maybe it gets better.
Violet, you're so
The more you
good
do.
looking.
Wait, what
I think I
happened?
look like me.
What'd you say?
I think I
You're
look
looking.
cute.
Oh my God, no, you.
Yeah.
Here, wait,
Dan
wait.
looking very girly pop.
Wait,
Wait.
you should put on. Wait.
Wait, put your hands up.
jealous?
You should. You should.
Do we cut my
you
hip?
get snapped.
Do you want my hip?
Yeah.
Everybody, put your hands up.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I want to see
so
what
hands
it
up.
is.
Touch thumbs with me.
I
Touch
was
thumbs
looking
with me.
at the thing earlier.
So-
Everybody
so-
touch thumbs.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Group hug.
Group hug, yay!
Right now, but I'm hitting the Debbie right.
Oh my
Oh my God. Wow.
Is this the female experience to be ogled at?
Yeah.
Yeah, how does it feel to
Yeah.
be
Should I
objectified?
start catcalling you?
Yo, whistle!
Hey, little mama. Hey, little mama, what are you doing later?
Hey, good
Get
looking!
a start.
Hey! What them hips do?
Damn, what are you doing later? Hey, can I buy you a drink?
Getting it back.
Yeah, I saw you come
No.
across the spaceship and I really liked your vibe.
I was gonna get
Yeah, me and
Hamilton,
my-
but I
me and
realized
my
you wouldn't know what that was.
No. Me and my partner
What?
saw you from across the bar and we really like your vibe.
Why
Yeah,
does Dan
you
have,
did.
like, Dan had,
Bartender,
like,
can I get the was it the Angel the shoulder shot? Is it?
Yeah, you got it, yeah.
The angel
yep.
shot? The angel shot?
Is it that or is it an
Yeah.
N?
That's the,
I like
Is it the
Dan.
angel
Dan.
shot? Can I get the angel shot?
Who are you speaking to?
The bartender.
Oh, the proverbial. Oh, the Discord is the bartender. Okay, all right.
You guys can
Smile,
smile,
sweetie.
bartender over here.
You're cuter when you smile, you know that?
Can I buy you a drink? No, fuck you.
You should take off that mask so we can see your beautiful smile.
Happy high.
This is getting really.
It is.
This getting
It's literally
really
that.
real. I'm
Oh
having
my
flashbacks.
God.
It's so funny.
I'm gonna. Oh my
Alright, well, I'm
God.
starting. I'm starting this round. We need to
Okay, we're ready. Oh, sorry, we're in an ad. Don't worry, nothing exciting will happen for 2.5 minutes, I promise. I promise, chat.
To be employed.
All right, all right.
All right.
We have
Pressure?
Oh
Okay, I
god,
need to
pressure.
learn how to do Sushi.
Sushi.
I want to learn how to
Come,
do it.
who's going to do the pressure?
We're gonna do it this time. We can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
Okay,
do
we gotta
pressure.
go. We gotta
I'm
get
dying.
the rice first, okay?
I got
Wait, I'm gonna
excited
look
and I
in
jumped.
here. Rice, it's all right here. We got
Okay.
all of it. It's all right here. Let's go.
I'm doing
Violet,
pressure.
Violet.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
Okay, she's doing something else. Never mind. You're
No,
good.
you got
No,
it.
I'll help you
Walk
with
in,
the
got it.
sushi. Because I need to do that too.
In the other storage room,
Yes, what
there's
do you need?
another bag of rice.
I'll get it. I got you.
Are we doing
Storage,
sushi
rice.
right
I got it. I'm helping. Chat, look, I'm helping. Hello, I have
Wait,
rice
did
for
Did
you.
you find, okay. Yeah, you could go put it in the last one. Okay.
The-
Now we gotta
oh,
go
this
to the
one?
tables. We gotta go to the
Oh.
tables and figure out.
Wait, how do I?
I have rice.
How do I?
Right click and then left click. You should see like a yeah.
kept
and then
slapping
hit the
it.
green.
Okay.
Hit the green.
That was so funny.
Okay, was it brown rice, salmon?
I
and
was
then-
just wishing that would go in by itself.
We might need that. Wait, hold on. Brown rice. Wait, is there only 2 tables?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
only 2 tables and both need brown rice.
So do we need more?
What do I do? Do I go wash this out?
Yeah, I think actually if you want to wash it out, that will
I threw
probably
it.
work.
Okay.
From rage. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go wash it.
Okay.
Do you want to check that? What is that table 2 over there?
Yeah.
And see what the plant is. The
WX2.
WX2.
Yeah.
Do you want to go grab that? From
Sure.
The analysis.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do I need a container?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm
do
here
we
to
have
observe.
orders?
Oh my god.
Where
did you pop over from?
What
Don't
And
shoot
if
me.
I have my gun, I got a knife.
Don't shoot me.
We only have 2
That
orders,
sentence.
so we
Don't
got
do it.
Okay, so
You
should
know?
I go do pressure?
I'm not going to, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you keep holding it like you are.
I don't really know how to do pressure.
Well,
so
I
I guess
can't
I'll
hold
be
it
right
any other
back.
way, I fear.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'm backing away.
Get canisters.
I'm gonna do a task.
Put them in somewhere.
WX2. I need
Okay, got it.
Yeah, where do we?
I think I have enough information.
Canister was in storage, so orange? I don't know. I think Dan just has the thing right now. Is this? Hold on, that's rice. How do I?
Yeah.
Hold on. Come here.
This is. Oh no, this is empty. Okay. I need WX2. Chat, WX2. You're gonna remember this for me, right? WX. Is it labeled? What does this mean? WX2. They're the penis-looking ones. This? Oh, whoop. Okay. Maybe this is it. I need to clean it. Nobody told me I need to clean anything. How do I clean it? Place container. Cleaning. It said it was empty. But I didn't know I needed to clean it. I'm just gonna keep whacking things until they work. Also, Scattered, how are you today, beautiful? It's great to see you. Okay, so which penis plant is it then? I think somebody just died. We're gonna ignore that. WX2. This one? Whatever's going on! How do I grab it?
Violet. Violet.
I'm not here. You
No,
can't
no,
see
Violet,
me.
No.
No, what?
Can you come to the pressure room real quick? We need to go talk Emrys down.
Talk Emrys down. Okay.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, you
What?
Okay, I was worried that something terrible happened.
Wait, what?
Don't
No,
worry,
I
I
was
have
just
a
trying to
gun, so
clean
it
this
looks like a
container.
strap.
Shella, will you please?
okay.
Oh,
Oh, don't worry, I got it.
is this a trap?
We need WX2.
No, I just want to look strapped.
Oh, you look good. I'm terrified.
Thank you.
I might pee a little bit.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do
Okay,
it.
I got it.
Okay.
We're good. We can finish. We can finally finish our first Pizushi.
Yay!
Okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm excited.
This is
excited for this.
amazing.
This is awesome.
We're really getting
We're
the hang
so
of things.
locked in. Yeah.
We're doing it. Locked in
I
and
am
locked
the
down.
Pizushi master.
Locked in and loaded.
Yes,
Look
chef.
at this. Okay, then we would do that.
Yes,
Wow.
chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
That looks
And then we gotta- and then
delicious.
here, you can hit the button to box it.
Oh.
I'm saying, Pazushi kind of sounds like it's good.
I would kind of eat this.
Okay, then you gotta pick it up, and then we gotta put it on the table. You gotta put it right there.
Yay, we did it!
This one. Brown
Okay,
rice,
is that the same
shrimp,
order?
brown rice, shrimp, and then G3M.
Okay, you got the herb. I'll get the shrimp.
Me the herb? Okay, well I need
I'll
the...
do,
Yeah.
Okay, I need another container.
You need the thing, yeah. You need
Yeah.
a box it. Here.
Oh, here.
Wait,
This is
how do I throw it? There you go.
I got it.
Right there.
I got it. All right.
This
I'm
is
on it.
100% a lobster. What is this?
Remember where I'm going. Dragon! How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Chat, look. I'm doing it! No, but really, how do I collect the plant? Oh, I didn't even ask what plant it was. The barrel of a gun. It was fine. Shella just wanted to look strapped. I wasn't scared. I was actually terrified. There's a difference. Okay.
Is it too quiet?
Hold on. I don't remember...
Violet, come here.
What?
Oh.
Oh.
What do we need?
Wait, are we doing
Yeah.
sushi? We're almost done. We just got
we need
one thing left.
G3M.
Wait, we should learn
G3M.
pressure too.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all
well,
got 3.5 minutes to learn pressure.
G3M. Chat! G3M, please. The mushrooms. The mushrooms. Wait, is it? G3M. The mushrooms? Is this... This? Them? These? No. Triangle mushrooms. Triangle. 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 Well, no, they're too round. Triangle! Oh, I got one! So I wasn't doing it right before. I'm doing it! God, are you so proud of me? I have the... No, I'm going the wrong way. I have a mushroom! 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 What?
Everyone's dead.
What happened?
I don't know.
Dan?
I'm literally, I'm not kidding. I
Dan.
didn't do anything. I'm not kidding. I walked in and everyone was dead. I heard a gunshot. I walked in, everyone's dead. Okay, bring in the mushrooms.
All
It
right.
needs the topping. Is that the topping?
Yeah. I don't know where to...
Okay,
I don't know what to do.
The other part, do you just click on it?
Oh, yes, here. Okay, and then...
Yeah. Like
All right,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's the last thing you want?
That's it, right?
Moving next.
Yeah, because then it's just packing.
Packaging ready
Yeah.
to pack.
Yeah. You want to put this on the table for us when it's
Okay.
done?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you get to do
I
it.
would love to.
All right. All right.
Hell yeah. I did so much work. Does it go? What
This one. This one over here. Table 5.
Oh, right.
Yo!
Is that okay? The last task is pressure. I don't know how to do it.
I have no idea.
And the only other person that kind of like had an inkling was Emrys, and now Emrys is dead.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Well,
Yeah. So.
I
is
guess
it
we'll
just
just try
us
and
two?
figure it
I think
out.
it's just us two. I think that whoever was killing everyone also died in the process.
oh, that makes sense. Oh, there's Miv. There's Miv.
Okay, I'm actually gonna look at. I'm gonna look at the video.
Do we just have to fill it up and then put it in?
Yeah, but no, it's confusing. And if you get into like, if it like explodes, if it's wrong and you're in front of it, you die. It's
Oh.
confusing.
Oh yeah, that's empty. That's empty. Okay.
Yeah.
Songs.
I don't know if they're supposed to go in an order. Like.
Yeah. Oh, there's stuff on this side too. That's at green though,
Yeah,
so I think this
so
is
that
still in
one-
process.
That one I've met. Yeah, well, I did that. Okay,
Oh.
don't go in the middle of it. Just stand here.
Yeah.
A bit further, yeah.
Oh, I see.
But I don't actually know
Oh,
I don't actually know how to do it.
that's weird. Oh God. Yeah, so that was way
Okay.
too much.
Do you understand? It's like doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't get it. We haven't learned this. Wait. Okay, there we go. I was like, I can't. We only have 15 seconds.
All right,
Okay,
well,
okay,
let's
okay.
try it.
Yeah, just press the button. We just have to.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay, well.
Well, you know what? We gave it the
Well, we're
old
done
college
for.
try. I blame
GG.
your hips, Dan. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know?
I did nothing.
Oh, maybe we should have copied the other one. Yeah, maybe.
No,
Like,
I want to
genuinely?
go.
That was hilarious.
That was so funny.
Why did everyone?
You wanna know
how
what
was everyone
happened?
dead?
Yeah, what happened? Because we came back to the carnage. I was
Everett-
collecting the mushrooms.
Everett had C4 and Ron had the trigger, and they came
You
in, and I
found the
saw them
C4?
flash it, and they blew us all up.
What?
No, pretty messed
They
up.
blew us all up.
That is hilarious.
Okay, wait, I need
That
to,
is
we need
so
to put
funny.
a video on this.
Yeah, well, we gotta look at the pressure
I
video. I gotta
enjoyed
sit.
Violet, you walking in.
Yeah.
Violet, you walking in being like, I got mushrooms, I got...
Yeah, there was like, wait, is everybody dead? I was so excited to show everyone.
The best thing about that whole
Oh, God.
so there was no dissonance. I put it to 0 to see if we could complete our task.
And we did
I think if we didn't get the pressure task, we would have completed them, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, but I'm-
determined
we
to
need to
win.
learn it.
Well, Violet finished the Pizzushi for us, so we did.
I
Yeah,
did.
that's true.
Dan helped too. Moral support.
Well, all I did was
So it's
deliver
like,
it, and I
Yeah.
like
did
a
it.
math
Yeah.
thing. Like, do we have to count?
But also, wait,
Math,
okay,
what
okay.
So yeah, if you get okay,
That's what happened
the
to
best thing
Tony.
is if
No,
you
Viv,
can
sorry,
see
that
these
happened to me.
canisters,
Yeah.
it will kill you. If you could even like see them a little bit, it will kill you.
Okay.
If you can,
Like you have to
see-
basically like run back and forth.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, so
Or
if they
like
blow
turn it
off the
down.
color is wrong. If they stay on, the color is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The color.
But,
It's so it's
but that's
color
also the
related.
number. But
I don't
isn't it
get
also like number related too?
I think
Okay.
it is number related. I don't know. I don't really understand it.
That's a little
'Cause
icky.
there's-
Okay, so you have to do both of them for it to go blue. Okay.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
almost had it.
Yeah, we did.
I had one side of it.
The other side was
About
giving us
blue.
I
problems.
don't get it.
I don't
What
get it
has
either.
to
You
be
kind of just have to
really
like
funny
fiddle with it.
See this chat?
Is the goal for them to not fly off?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So when you do both of them, it goes blue, and then you win. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It is
Okay,
That was
basically
alright,
funny.
trial
we
and
got
error.
this,
Like
we got
like
this.
it's
That
still
was
trial
so
and
funny.
error.
I
feel like I can figure it out.
Lily, thank you for the
I was
hydrate.
I was like
I was
losing
so
it.
mad. We were
I
gonna
need to
make
get
the
a
pizza.
screenshot of the face I made.
Well, I saw him flash the trigger, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's over!" And I ran, but I didn't realize there was a dead end in that restaurant. And I was like,
No. Oh, that's
No!
funny.
I was just kind of stood
Wait,
there,
is
so
this
like,
the
I was like,
C4?
they're not gonna do it. I was like, it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Because you need 2 people to do it. If
Well,
one
or
of them is
just
holding
one.
one.
Wait.
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah,
can
well,
you
yeah.
can just put the
Throw it.
C4 down on the ground and then trigger it.
True.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they
Or what
did
if it's
not
like
do
in
that.
your pocket or something?
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah. in your
They walked
bag.
up with it in their hand, and then yeah.
Yep.
It happens.
Oh, look at
It
Nick
happened.
and his
I
little
just knew Violet was
iPad.
gonna come back
Oh,
and
I've
be
done
like,
this
"What
task,
on God's
actually.
green earth?"
I did. I was.
was.
I was grabbing. I grabbed it and I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, everybody, look! I helped. Oh, you're dead.
You were like,
Oh, why you want one?
What is going on?
Yeah, look. There's actual pixels on it.
Oh, there is.
Pocket C4, no big
okay.
deal.
Anybody, chat. There was no bad guys. They just decided to be chaotic.
I just wanted
Guys,
to see if
I
we could do
fear
our
that
task.
soon we
Oh.
will be
And the answer
unemployed.
was no.
I feel like it's probably
Why do
not
you say
fair.
this?
If I knew I could trust everyone, I would have tried harder.
I
Good luck, everyone. I haven't gotten it yet, so.
Okay.
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 Vents and delivery. All right. All right. I'm gonna do some ventage. Okay. Wait, no. Should I not be in here? Yeah. No, storage. Is this? This is a present.
So that's the delivery thing. If you hit right click, it'll show you. It'll have like a little tag on it, and that's where you deliver it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna put that down. There we go.
So we grab. There should be. Because there. it's
I
number
need
5.
a screwdriver.
Okay, so then when you right click, you
I
can
was a
see the
screwdriver.
tag,
Oh,
and it
right
shows like the
blue.
symbol of the room.
Yeah, I have to go
What?
to dark blue.
But it should have like a little symbol with the actual room. 'cause I
red-
don't think the color matches.
Did y'all hear
Right.
that?
Or
No.
maybe it does match.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the pressure thingy.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought
That's
that's
what
when
that-
like somebody
yeah.
dies.
There's another
Oh.
box. If you want to get a box,
Yeah. Oh, do you want to do delivery? Oh. Okay. Anyway, is it this room?
This one. I got one. Okay.
So we gotta. Oh, then yeah.
So
you gotta
that
hit the
one
black, you should-
is
yeah,
fine.
And then put it in the.
No, no, girl, pick that up.
Oh, there we go. And then hit. Yeah.
I did it.
Did it. Okay, I gotta go to
did it.
cam
Okay.
room.
okay, I'm gonna
Oh,
grab.
do you want to grab that other one?
Wait, they're gone.
Or maybe. Okay, maybe somebody else already did it. Okay.
Okay.
Cam.
Where am I? Okay. So I can
What
go
a
into the
present for my
red.
coincidence. What's
Okay.
up? I got a present for you.
Oh my god. Where
Boop.
is it?
Oh,
Oh.
button.
So it's I only have to do the vents if they're red. Also, what happened to my
Yeah.
where did it
Is it in your bag?
No.
watching your hand just do this.
Oh my
Oh, wait,
god.
wait, look.
Oh, yeah, this is red. God damn it.
Look at this.
What?
Among Us.
Oh, Among Us.
It's Among Us.
They stole our boy!
Anyway.
He's in here. He's crying for help. All right, well, I know I need to come back here, but where is it? There.
Yeah, where did?
I don't
Wait, you lost-
know. I swear I picked it up. All right, well, I got to go grab it. Oh, I probably did put it in my prison pocket, knowing me.
You already blew it up? So this is
Yeah, I did. I
useless?
saw that. I found that. I hit it, and then nothing
Okay.
happened. Well, no, I found
Is it
that.
here on the floor? Are you kidding me? Felt like somebody was rushing at me there. Okay, I'm gonna be helpful. And I also think I need to clean this filter, right? Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, now what do I do?
And then you gotta grab the filter.
I grab
Oh yeah,
it?
I'm
It
looking
might
for a
actually. Oh
screwdriver.
wait, here I can grab it. Okay,
Oh.
I got it. And then we
Okay.
gotta go clean it.
Clean it? Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
shall I look at this?
Look it. Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Our boy!
Among Us.
Among Us.
Anyway, where do I don't remember where to clean this actually, but we'll figure it out.
The cleaning area.
Yeah, isn't it in the
It's the same as like the
By the
this way?
blue.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blue
Yeah.
for water. Oh. my god, what happened?
What?
Aw.
I
Oh,
needed a screwdriver.
I think they exploded actually.
did they? But they exploded
Well,
together.
yeah, there is a trigger here.
Oh. Oh,
And
did
no
you
more
press that like
floor.
5 times?
I did just to make sure.
Okay.
It's not working, so.
What gave it away? Was it the 5th time?
We gotta go back to cameras.
How do we know where the vents are?
It
Well,
says
you
it on
don't-
the
you just have
map.
to- but not every room actually has a vent that you need to clean. You just have to go and like look.
That's what I
Oh.
figured out. Yeah. They
Yeah.
lie. They're wrong.
Yeah, it just tells you
Thanks
where
for
all
the
the vents are.
follows,
Okay,
thank
now you
you.
gotta put do
Okay.
the screwdriver.
Yay! Done.
Okay, so there's still
Okay.
2 more we need to find.
Okay.
Okay. So do
We
we
just
just go
gotta-
randomly?
Yeah.
You
or-
just literally have to run around until you find them.
Yeah, so how do I...
Okay.
Oh, you know what it is? If I pull this up, it lets it go.
Yeah. I think you can put it in your pocket. I don't know how.
Oh, I see. Yeah, just E. Okay.
Put it in your pocket.
I put it in my pocket.
Here.
There's a vent in this yellow room. Is there one? Does it need help?
Which one? This one? Or is it this side? Vent! Vent? A scratcher? Oh. How are people dying all over the place? How have I not died yet is the best question here. Oh, no, that's already done. Unless there's one on this side? Don't think there is. No, there might be. There's one here. No, it's good. All right. Can you put that in your pocket? Chat. Maybe in the pizzazz place? But then I have to walk around for that. This way. It's the dream, and they're living our dream. And I would like to murder them for it. I haven't even gotten to kill somebody yet. No, that's done there. Hello?
Sorry. Did I just overhear you asking about killing someone?
No, absolutely not.
Can I get into this? Violet, why did you do that?
Got the disappointed dad voice! Violet!
Why did you do it?
Well, you know, I felt, I craved violence.
That's fair. I guess.
Everybody else
I'm
was
sorry,
killing everybody
Shella.
else.
Sorry, Shella.
Sorry, Shella.
There's only one vent left. Do you wanna finish that, or are you gonna try to kill me?
You know, what are you in the mood for?
You know, I feel like, it would be a disservice to our friends to not like a task,
You know, I get you. Let's do it. Let's
feel
do
like
it together.
We just got the one,
We just
and then
got
if you
the one.
betray me,
I would
then
never.
I got a screwdriver to defend myself.
Right. Of course.
I just don't know where this last one.
I
is.
don't either. I checked the pizzazz place and it wasn't over there. Pizza, pizzazz, whatever that one is.
Yeah. Pizushi.
Pizzushi. That's right.
My favorite. Yeah, I don't know where the.
I had a craving only hands could satisfy.
Well, we got 2 minutes to figure this out.
Yeah.
We got this.
I actually kind of like how there are group tasks in here. That's really fun that you
Yeah,
have to
it's
work
nice.
together. Yeah.
But then also, it can be the downfall.
Yeah. Because it's like, well, how do you have to stay together when you got to kill if you want to?
Yeah.
It makes
Well, I
sense.
mean, I also think that it's obviously really easy to not stumble upon someone killing someone too.
Yeah, because it's so spread out.
Yeah, because it's so spread out. Oh god, are we not gonna? I don't know if we're gonna find them.
This may not be
Oh,
happening.
No. Oh no, I'm running.
Did we check this one already? Yeah. Which way? Hello? Momo? Oh shoot, that's right. I gotta stop running. This side? Vent! I was a vent. There's 3 in here. Oh, yo.
Oh, hi,
I didn't mean to kill myself.
She ran out of her body.
Oh my god, I didn't know we were ghosts. Look at us. Look at us. I forgot to keep track of everything.
They got this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Poor Momo.
I'm doing it for you.
I love how we're little orbs. Look at.
Is there analysis?
Only the worst vibes. Only the worst
No,
vibes.
the best ones.
Come on, Mama.
Worst. The worst vibes.
17 seconds. Yes. Yes. Bye, plants. Take care. They was singing something. That was so funny. That was so funny.
I can't believe I'm the only person who has lost every single time.
Wait, lost?
Yeah.
I lost. I was the dissident.
Oh.
I haven't won yet. I already won.
My curse of
It's
dying
okay.
first is still
You
a
won
thing.
inside my heart.
Violet,
Yes.
why did you kill me?
Yeah, why? That was so good.
I craved violence.
Emerald's
Wait,
got
and then
me
how did
killed.
you
I'll remember
die?
that.
I picked up
I died
C4
because
right
I
away,
forgot to not
and
overexert
Emerald
myself.
found thing. I'm just gonna kill
Detonator
you.
and I immediately set it off. And then I was like, oh, I don't think anyone died from that. That's kind of sad. And then I just went about my day.
Why did you kill me?
Well,
Oh, I thought you were the dissident because you wanted the C4.
Oh, that's fair.
I wanted the C4 just like you wanted the C4 because I wanted to blow it up.
Oh, you know what? I'm
And
not
you
gonna judge.
killed
Yeah, you're
Some
right.
of us
and
are
then
working on
killed me,
tasks.
and
It's true,
I'm
I did do
suspicious.
that. I did do that.
I'm suspicious.
Yeah, you
Okay,
are.
That's a really good
whatever.
point.
Yeah, okay. Show me a smile, princess. Show me a smile.
Incredible. Golden, thank you, sweetheart.
Anyways,
Proud of us.
I love it, I love it.
Are we feeling better about
I
this
did.
now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we could elevate it.
Lie.
Yeah.
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 I feel like you
Okay.
need to die.
Me?
Me?
Yes, you.
Well,
What? Who?
Is
Oh.
it me? She says.
Oh.
When I get you.
When you get me.
Hands on you.
Shall I say something really bad? Shall I say something really mean and offensive to me?
Why?
Do it right now. Just do it.
I hate you. Slow turn. Okay. That was really scary.
That's what I
Wow.
wanted to do.
I didn't like that.
That was incredible.
That was great.
Oh, you're right? You're right there?
Uh-oh.
You're okay?
Uh-oh.
You alright?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Wait,
Oh my god,
wait.
I saw this in notes.
Do we need a
for us.
medic?
He's gonna say-
Oh my god, wait! Whenever Maeve and I were like on top of each other, like at the end when we died, I was
You-
like,
you
it was
were-
the
I'm
end
sorry,
of
you were what?
Nosferatu, and I'm
I'm sorry, you were what?
Nosferatu.
I'm sorry, you
I
were
was
what?
You're
when we were-
Nosferatu?
When you were what?
When we were
When you were
when we were
what?
each other, when we died, when our bodies
Oh,
were
when you died, your
intertwined
body. Okay, you
sensually.
just okay. Okay.
You'll love to see it.
Okay. Yeah.
This is an
Okay, what's
open
it?
marriage, right?
I think we need to discuss some boundaries.
Well, listen.
Wow.
I'm
Cannot be
officiant,
having
so
the
it's like
breakdown
I
of a
marry
marriage
both
already.
of you, so like
The-
we're
It's
all
been
married,
24
right?
hours. No,
Okay,
it's
but
been
like-
longer.
These
Okay,
are
but,
discussions
like-
that should have been had already.
Yeah,
Pre-marriage
who's to say?
discussions
Who's to
are-
say?
are fair.
I think we're all to say. Oh, shit.
Can't get a divorce in the
Okay,
same month.
analysis.
Wait,
Again,
can I
just
show
like
everyone
communication.
something? Can everybody?
Yes,
I have something really
absolutely.
important to show.
Chat, I am the imposter.
Okay,
You gotta
we're
help
gonna-
me,
We're
okay?
gonna go this way. We're gonna go
Okay.
over here.
Okay.
I don't have the C4. We all saw me in the beginning.
Yes. What is it?
Give me a second.
What are you
I want everyone
doing?
To turn their attention into this corner
Yes.
and look at and look
Oh.
and
Oh, yes, the Amongus. He's there.
Among
He's
Us.
our boy.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among
I
Us.
feel at home. Among Us.
I need
Alright,
to find
anyways,
a
that's all I have to
weapon.
say.
I got the Among Us potion from the dark
I
web.
need a weapon. Chat.
Yeah. I would argue that.
We're gonna grow.
All right, let's go
grab a
do
weapon.
analysis.
No, I can't ask that. Nobody is supposed to know. Oh, maybe. I'm gonna maybe go to sushi's. What is it called again? The sushi place. Nothing's over here.
I'm scared. Somebody's trying to shoot me.
She stabbed me first.
You
I'm
know,
not trying to do anything.
that's so fair.
What's up?
You should stab her back with your gun.
Yeah, sounds right. Can I show you a secret though, real quick?
What happened?
Can I show you a secret though, real quick?
No. What is that? No, it's a C4!
I can't find a detonator yet.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
There's probably other computers on the.
No, the computer is done.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
I need something. Okay. Okay, it's gotta be in here, right? Like, where else would it be? Did everybody already grab stuff? Chat. Hizushi.
Oh my god, they got the poons going on in there.
Hey, I got you this gift. Come here. Okay, bye.
I'll get this one.
In here? Chat. Machine room. Okay. Thank you so much. Also, welcome in. This is the blue room, right? I can't believe I'm losing because I can't find anything. Okay, I got this. All right. You know what? I'm gonna pocket one and I'm gonna take another in case it just gets thrown. Welcome on in, darling. Okay. Gotta find somebody.
Okay.
Hi! Oh.
I don't. You know, I saw you did to Shella last round. I
You
just
did. You did. Yes.
You wouldn't do that to me, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, good.
But would you
'cause
like-
this is
would
trade
you-
right between your eyes?
Would you like to help me do it to other
You
people?
wouldn't want to come over here.
What just happened?
I don't know, but she started shooting me, so I shot her back. You can have that gun if you want.
Is there ammo in it?
I actually don't know. I don't know how many times I shot. There were 7 bullets. There might be more.
You know, I really would have thought like if I
Let's
did
do
like
that.
the sneak attack and
Okay.
maybe like get
would.
him in the elbow or the
No.
shoulder,
You
that
wouldn't.
like
No, it
he
wasn't.
would not aim
I
at
don't know. She
me.
said, "Do you want to do that to other people?" But then she started stabbing me, so I didn't know.
No,
I didn't know.
legit. I put the C4 in the analysis room. I
You
don't
want to
think
go
they
find the
noticed
detonator?
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, sabotage. Oh, so if I saboed, I could have just won that
Just,
way?
uh,
Oh.
My thought. Okay, so I checked the.
No, I wanna take
machine
him out.
storage,
I got
didn't see it
bloodlust, babe.
there.
I ideally wanted a gun or a knife, but you know, beggars can't be choosers,
It might
so
be.
instead I had 2 screwdrivers. Yuki, please, baby, I don't want to eat you. Come on. Why you do this? If the clock runs out, they lose. Oh, that's awesome. That's so
Nope.
cool.
Do we even have alimentations? No, we just have analysis. It's a foo. Look, so this game is genuinely so fun. It's very silly.
Okay, I'm gonna try and see where other people.
You
Oh,
are cutting too nice. It was so expensive. It
Alright.
offended me. I kind of impulse bought it, and I was like,
Alright,
maybe
Miv
I
is
should cancel
still
that order,
there.
And then I did it, and then it came, and so
okay.
um,
Is everybody else dead? No, Dan is alive. Oh.
What? Did Dan kill you?
No, I was the dissenter. What is it called? I was the person, and I tried to kill. I tried to kill Emrys, but Emrys shot me.
I don't see it.
Oh no.
I should have just let the
Oh,
clock
shall
run
I
out, but I
here?
craved the violence. You know, I had the bloodlust.
That's disappointing.
Oh no.
I know.
What happened to
Oh.
Stella?
I tried to kill Dan, but he had a knife.
Oh, were you just doing it because you wanted to?
Yeah.
Yes, your little orb shook you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some like other glass.
I craved it. I got a taste of it.
You
when he
did.
started attacking me last
See,
round.
so
I was
then
like,
you can't be mad at me because you know you gotta
No,
you
I
gotta do it.
understand. I get it.
You get it.
I get it.
You
now.
feel it.
You just wanted the glory, huh? You just wanted the glory, is that it? You
Oh.
just
Now, wait a
wanted the
minute.
glory.
Oh. Well,
Everyone.
what
You
happened?
just wanted the, you just wanted the glory from finishing
You!
the sentence.
You!
wanted the glory.
You!
That was my task that I finished, and you stole the glory.
You disgust
Stella,
me.
I killed Stella, but that was valid because Stella tried to kill me earlier on for
Yeah.
no reason.
Oh, Emrys, I tried to kill you because I was actually assigned to kill people that round.
Oh.
It was me.
I can't believe I got ya.
I know. I'm so sorry. I thought I got you in the shoulder and you would like not shoot me, but then you did. So I get it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanna know what's happening in the secret meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry. You want me to leave, or I'll start kicking people out of the lobby. All right, you need to go. You need to walk that way. Let's go. Get back.
and I have to go in like 20 minutes.
Oh, no.
Are you?
Come on.
Sad?
Okay.
No. What?
Okay, were you really
They're
sad?
whispering.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just pretending to be sad, and I was like, that's really mean.
What?
What's
There's so much
going on?
yelling.
What's going on?
What is happening?
What's going on? What's going on?
You can pick your nose and you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose, but that's what we're gonna try and do.
That's what they say, but I've never let words stop me.
I tried to help do your job. I
Me?
found the
That sounded
C4
bad.
and I put it in the analysis room and I was trying to find the trigger to kill everybody.
That was so nice. You didn't know I was the person then.
Huh?
You didn't know I was the person.
But I know. I was just trying to cause chaos.
That's fair.
Me and Emrys were both trying to find the detonator. After
Oh,
I-
really? Oh, no
Yeah.
wonder. That makes sense.
The blaze.
Okay.
Oh,
Hello.
Jasper, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I'm gonna work it.
You don't have to.
I thought I heard Shella say, you don't have to jork it. I'm gonna pee my pants.
The Brit's in it.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to
oh
pressure.
my
I'm going to do
gosh.
pressure.
That's so many
Pressure.
tabs.
Scanner.
We're gonna do it.
What's scanner? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Wait, does somebody want to do scanner?
Oh, I was gonna go there.
With me?
I'll go with you, Momo.
Okay, yeah, it's a two-person job,
Oh yeah.
and it's
Consider
it's,
me
quite complicated.
your number 2.
Hey, yo. Okay. So, do you? This is it, right? Yeah. Do you want to be the one that looks at the screen, or the one that stands in here and points at stuff?
I'll stand and point.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm. Okay. So, you gotta point.
Okay.
And then I'll try to like tell you what direction. Okay. So, slowly look up. Very slow. Stop. And then to your left. Yeah, slowly. Okay. Keep going. Stop. Nope. Back a little bit. Okay, stop. Got it.
Okay.
Now look down. Yeah, keep going. Okay, stop. Wait, a little up. Yeah. Okay, and then to your left again, right? Yeah. Okay, and stop. Yeah. Okay, now go to your right. Keep going.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit more. Okay, wait, back. Okay, stop. Wait, back a little bit again. To the left.
This way?
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now look up slowly. Okay, and stop. Okay, now to your right. Yeah. A little bit more. Okay, stop. Wait, a little bit back to the left. Yeah, there. And then look down. And stop. Okay, now to your right. And then stop. And then look up. Go slow. A little bit more. And stop. Wait, no, a little bit more. Okay, now stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it!
Yay!
We did it!
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I feel like I'm a smart human, but like all this left and right, I'm like, do I know my left from my right? I don't think I do.
That's why I was like, because when I was first saying it, I don't know if you noticed me pause. I was like, wait.
Yeah, you're like, wait, your left or my right? Yeah,
your
yeah.
left or yeah.
Miss Breck, how you doing,
Oh,
honey?
we
Good to
did
see
it.
you.
The only other time I tried doing this,
Yeah.
got interrupted with Emrys killing me. So
That's a pain in the
never
butt
even
one.
got to do it.
Oh, that's tough. That's so tough.
Okay, should we go look at Pazushi?
Yeah, let's do it.
See
Let's
what's
heckin'
going
do
on.
it.
How's
I need a
Pazushi?
container.
You need a container?
In here?
Yeah, I was
No?
gonna say no.
In here.
In here? This is the container room. They're all spread out all over the place. Maybe there's gonna be one in here on the floor or something. Oh. Empty! Is it? Are we sure it's empty? I think I'm just wasting bullets.
In here. There it is. Hey, what's that?
There we go.
What's that?
Oh wow.
Oh, wow!
What's that?
Can I
It's
help
nothing.
Yeah? It's nothing?
Chat, I'm gonna go find Dan. I haven't seen anybody else yet, though. I have one left.
Okay, the second yellow? Second yellow?
Second
like,
yellow, okay,
this
we
one
can go
here. So maybe that needs to
Okay.
be a red?
Okay. A
Maybe
red
I go
the
from like
start?
this to that?
Oh,
And then we could,
pop them, yeah.
and then try that?
Okay. You ready?
Violet, you might die.
Oh,
Just saying.
I'm leaving.
This is bad, this is bad place.
Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Good for right now.
Smuddles, bye, baby. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Nope. Okay.
I don't know how to count when I crochet. Right?
So maybe that needs to be a red.
Like, okay, I'm not good with math. I'm not a math gay, but I didn't think it would affect counting, and it somehow does.
I don't think there is. Okay, let's try this again.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Again.
Good.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, so then now we have to figure out this one. So
yeah.
then, just 2 yellow, I guess?
Yeah, it has to be. Alright, should we
Okay.
just step up? So everyone just step out the way and we'll just see.
Yeah.
It's scary.
You can check if you want. Okay, do you want to check?
What's it there?
Just
So,
in case.
okay. I mean, none of them are yellow right now, but yeah, just go ahead. Do it again.
For the final thing. Okay.
Or
ready?
I guess green is the color. Oh, okay, the second yellow one. But I don't know what that would get swapped with. This one.
Should we swap this
Just
red
try
with
like
it,
this.
maybe?
Okay, great work,
I always
Emrys.
touch with it too.
Great work.
Alright,
Okay.
Ready?
What's up, B-Dan?
I'm looking for black rice.
Oh, I'll help.
It's not in here at all. Where would it be? What might it be?
Whoa! This is so cute.
Why?
Oh God! No!
Stop then.
I will stop. Here, you can have it. You can have it.
Hello?
You can take it.
Okay, no.
Okay, no.
How do you get ammo?
I don't think you can refill it.
Yeah, I've been looking.
Oh, that sucks. That's even the point.
Mayhem.
You
Threats.
can't refill it.
Threats.
Black rice.
Black rice.
Oh, is that what we're looking for? I was hoping I could just kill somebody. Is it not in the store? I don't think it's gonna call you back, Shella.
Wait. What do you see when you look at it?
What do I see? Oh,
Do you
that's
see the
a.
smiley face on it?
I do. You.
Hello? I still haven't found any black rice. Oh no.
She lured me in with a smiley face. The disrespect. That was even so much better than my kill because I just went after her. Like, she got me good. Caitlin, how are you doing? So this is literally like a first person Among Us. It's a first person Among Us. That's my dead corpse right here. Just in case anybody cares. You know. Absolute genius. Golden, can you clip that for me? I need to send that to the group after in a clip. I'm not a math anything. Keep that away from me. I don't know if anybody else died. Basil, hi! Me too. I actually really like that aspect. This is fun, but this definitely like a... How do I say this? Among Us, I feel as though if you've never played it, you can jump in pretty easily because it's very intuitive what you need to do. But this one, it takes time. I'm still not even fully understanding, like, you know?
At least put this over here.
Found Miv.
So pretty.
Yeah, she was the bad guy.
I'm gonna
Wait.
haunt Shella. You can't hear me
Where
though.
was Miv?
I actually really like that ass.
Oh my god. I don't think we can find this rice chat.
Have we lost it?
Oh
Oh my god, what happened to you? What
I
happened?
hit the. Well, I was stabbing Shella with a screwdriver, and then Tony came and sliced me with a knife.
Oh, that's fair.
But
That's
I hit
fair.
the rice, so.
Oh, you
We're
hit
still
it?
locked in and ready.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I'm the bad guy.
Oh, nice
Oh no,
job.
they're gonna find it. Oh no, they're not gonna find it.
Okay.
It's over here. Want me to show you?
Yeah. I want to see it. Like where?
It's over here.
Oh, you devil. Oh, you sneak.
It's right here.
Oh. Incredible work. Yeah, no, I was helping out, and Shella had me look at something, and she was like, "What does this look like to you?" And then she started stabbing me, and then I died. I actually didn't
Whoa.
antagonize this time. I was the
That's
innocent.
messed up. That's
I
messed
know.
up that she killed you.
She wanted revenge. I can't blame her.
That is messed up. Wow, I'm gonna win.
You
That's
are gonna win.
crazy.
This is
All
incredible. I'm so
because
proud
I
of
hit
you.
The wife. Thank you.
Yay! Thanks, Golden. Oh, we actually did really good.
You should have activated.
Where's the
Shella?
The rice. I hit it.
Where did you hide it?
Where it was okay.
You.
It was
Oh my
in
God.
the plant room.
You tricked me with a cute
if you go
smile.
all the way to the back, all the
I
way
did.
to the right. It was hidden in the corner on the back
No
wall
way.
behind the rightmost container,
You
like the rightmost
deserve
big box.
jail.
I even looked in there, but I didn't look hard enough in the plant room.
Yeah,
so
I
mean,
thought
Miz.
that would be a good place to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
It was good.
Then you deserve to be stabbed
really
from what I
good.
just yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
So sorry
I was trying to
killed
kill
you,
your
but
wife.
Wow.
I know you're just trying to kill me for no reason, on purpose, because we were about to lose anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd rather be dead than alone alive.
Good.
Alive alone, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Alone
go,
and
I gotta
alive.
Go, I gotta pee. I'm gonna
Okay,
go
we
piss
can have a pee break.
towel.
Yeah, can we do a pee break? I definitely need one too.
Pee break?
Yeah.
Break?
Yes. Yes.
Also,
Okay,
are we good? Do we feel like another hour would be good?
Yeah,
Is that
I'm
a
down.
good amount of time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm okay,
will I
I'm
mess
okay
it up
with
if I leave early?
anything.
Okay.
No. No, you'll be
No, I
fine.
don't think so.
I can do like at least one
Get
more,
out
I
of
think.
here.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get out. Are you rude?
Go
I
watch
need to-
you.
I'm
All
gonna
Go
go.
pee,
I'm
go
gonna go
pee.
pee.
right, we're
Take
peeing.
you hate him.
All right, chat. I'm gonna go pee. BRP question. What's your favorite color? We all had to pick our own colors today. What's your favorite color? Mine is pink. Wow, everybody's so surprised. Tell me your favorite color. We'll be back in a few minutes. Bye. Hi, chat. We're back. Look at all those beautiful colors. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for the follows. Exclamation point with in chat. If you would like to, go follow my pals. We got light purple. Hi, Riley. How are you doing? Teal, marigold, red, purple. We got a lot of purple in here. Hi, B, yellow, purple, green. Any, like, I don't know. What's, like, a weird color? Not, like, weird. Like, cyan. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get back in.
Violet.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, she's here.
It's me. I'm
Wait,
here.
I need to make sure that the door's open so we can.
What was
Hi,
that?
Violet.
Wait, the door's
Violet.
open.
Do that
Violet
to me. Do
now.
that
Yes,
to me real quick.
what?
Oh, I'm on page number
What page?
84 of Onyx Storm.
Wait, what? 384?
Yeah.
How many more do you have left? Like 200 something?
We're role playing. Yeah.
I think like 140-ish.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
You gotta let me know your thoughts when you get to the end.
I will. I'm
Okay.
nervous.
I'm so surprised. You have been going through this whole series. I can't believe it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I will say, I do have to say, yeah.
As we keep pointing.
The bottom.
Oh, we made it. Oh. I love the pastels too. Hello.
Okay.
Violet, come over.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, cool.
How
Chat,
are you doing?
why are we all except for Emrys?
This has backfired on me.
What? Okay. So
What do you
wait,
mean,
what is
Emrys?
alimentation?
Because I know what the settings are and I know what I am, so I know what you are. I gotta go.
All right, everybody after Emrys, go find something. I'm gonna find a weapon. I'm gonna find a weapon. Oh no, I'm gonna kill myself by accident. Okay, if I was a weapon.
I'm gonna go find a weapon with which to kill Emrys Pay.
Yes, help find a weapon. Where? Hold on. We need to go to the tools. What happened? Was this on purpose? All right. I'm going to pocket one. That's for later. This is for now. Oh, Emrys! What? So somebody else killed Emrys. All right, that's fair. I was gonna kill you. What happened?
Was that really fun for you?
Tony, I wanted to kill
Was that on purpose? What happened? What happened?
That backfired.
Okay, that's fair.
Did you do it?
Did you do it?
Glory.
I did it.
Did you kill him?
Oh, you did. That was fast.
I killed him.
No, I killed myself on in game.
You did?
We all were except for Emrys.
Yeah, we all were.
Okay, so
I saw so much red.
and then I was the only one. I was the only employee, so I couldn't.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Thank you.
Okay, we can figure it. Okay. We're fine.
Uh-huh.
We're going back to normal now. I just had
Okay.
to, you know.
You just wanted to feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
You wanted to feel the long
No.
sleep. That's so fair.
Right away, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I'm just gonna call
I
that
thought you run
out.
past with a gun.
Which room?
How did you get one so fast?
Why can't I play?
I feel like some people know where the things are, and I don't. Fine.
Thank goodness.
You have been promoted to our elite employee.
Delivery.
What is ailmentations? I don't think I want to do that.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
do
gonna try
delivery.
maybe delivery.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna do delivery too.
We can both.
You want to do it together? All right.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
have to go somewhere to get like the boxes.
Yeah, so that should be in the storage room, right?
I believe it.
Okay. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
they
it.
might have some hidden elsewhere.
Okay.
Oh, there's some stuff for Pete Sushi over here.
Oh.
I'm not doing Pete Sushi though, because that sounds difficult. Okay, box.
I guess I could. Yeah, I'll do pea
Okay.
sushi.
Okay, so this is
All right.
brown rice.
So we're gonna go. I gotta figure out what plant we're gonna need for pea sushi. Did I go from the wrong direction? Yep. I like how there's only one map, but also I feel like by now I should have known the map.
This map is like low-key confusing.
It's very confusing. Hello? Okay, so what are the tables that we need? All right, hold on. Table 1, table BO4. Wait, which one is she working on? Okay, so BO4 for both. All right. I'm grabbing the leaf stuff.
Violet.
Yeah. What?
What do I do with this?
I don't know. I haven't done the deliveries before.
What help?
You might have to watch a video. Oh, but you keep dropping it. Put it in your pocket.
You can't put it in your pocket. It's
Oh.
too big.
Oh, it's too big. BO4. It's a Y. Yeah. Oh, no. So B is for blue then, right? Okay. Hold on. So it's the blue thingies. Okay. I'm so gonna find this. This is gonna be so amazing when I find this. Right here. BO4. Yeah! Baby, look at me! Chad, are you so impressed? Alright, how do I get out of here again? That makes sense now. I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, the batteries are already charging, I think.
Hello, I found the plant. I have the plant.
Nice.
Where do I
Okay, it's ready for you to finish it up.
where do I put it? Oh. Perfect, perfect. Look, I'm doing it! Is sushi ready? Is this the I'm assuming it's this one? Oh. No? How do I? Oh, I did it. Why is this wrong? What did we do? It's
That's
wrong.
the white rice. It goes to the other table.
Oh. Yay. Okay.
Okay.
You need
Do you
more.
have the other thing we need?
No, I'm gonna clean this and I'll grab it again. I'll be back. I'll be back with the plant.
Do we need any help with Pete Sushi?
I need to clean. How did I clean this before? Oh, this here. Oh my god. Chat, just so you know, if you like smack something to make it work, it doesn't work that way. I thought different, but this game has told me no. I don't want anybody to suffer like how I suffer. And do I suffer? Where was this
You
other
up
one?
suffering.
I am suffering.
Love to suffer.
Is this not BO4? Oh no, I got it.
What are you looking for? You know-
No, I got it.
Okay.
I thought I was screwing it up, but like I got it.
I believe in you. Oh.
Do you?
Oh.
Okay, bye. I did it. Hello, I'm here.
Oh. You got it? Okay, it's ready.
All right. Here we go.
Woohoo!
I'm back.
I helped save the day.
Oh,
Welcome
good.
back.
What happened?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hot behind!
Hot behind!
Oh my god.
Yay!
We did it.
Okay.
Oh my god, we just need one more.
What is
Shella
alimentations?
almost killed me.
What?
Shella was holding me at knife point. That's crazy, Shella.
I don't have a
You were
knife.
holding me at knife point?
What?
No, What?
What? I didn't see anything. What
I've
happened?
been doing pizza sushi this whole time.
Silly said, Shella almost killed you and Violet saved you. Shella is diabolical, holding you at knife point. This is
Shella?
not funny.
I've been making the pizza this whole time. Violet can confirm.
I'm gonna get
I can't confirm anything. Hey, Shella.
me
Can we
get
go
you.
try to
What's
find
what's
the
the
other cat?
face? What's the face on this?
Happy face.
Okay, now that we've completed something.
Okay, wait, so it's just one. What just happened?
What?
What did you do?
Sushi. I think
I'm
I
ready
just
to
dropped the
stop something,
sushi
I
on
think.
myself.
Oh, is that a euphemism?
How's Almanations doing?
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
Shella, can you Jordan
So now we're gonna have to
Hold
put
on,
this in,
what?
and when this one runs out, you'll put it
Hold on. What did I hear? Shella? All I hear mid-sentence.
Employee?
What happened?
What the hell?
What happened? I heard Miv mid-sentence say, Shella, can you jork it? And then Miv died.
Just by
Listen,
joking?
Will just walked into my office and I want him to see the animation. It's so funny. Tony,
I
torque
just
it. Yeah,
had a
look,
knife and
Torque
I
it.
needed to use it.
Torque
You
it.
understand?
I don't know how to do the other.
Family friendly tags off.
Did we have a dissident in that game?
I wasn't.
I don't know how
No.
to do it.
We didn't have one?
No.
Wow.
Why not?
What? Why?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. Miv,
You
okay,
only get
right?
one or
more?
two.
I should go.
No,
Bye.
no.
I love
We'll miss
you.
you.
Oh my God.
Bye.
We'll miss you.
Hug
We'll
me,
miss you.
I'll miss you so much.
Hold hands. Hold
I
hands. Hug.
Jork it for me.
I will jork it for you.
I love you,
Jork
Jordan.
it. It's so hard for you right now.
Jork it. Happy birthday!
Bye.
Why are you?
Are you?
Are you
What
okay?
are you doing?
I don't like
Is he
how
good?
proficient
He's
he is
jorking
at
it.
that.
Oh my God! Oh my God! No, you're taunting it too.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah. Wait, what about this? What about this?
That was
Oh
beautiful.
my God! Wait a minute.
That was
Wow.
really
Emma,
something
can you
special.
Make it so that we don't know how many dissidents there are. Like, is there an option for like one or two? But we don't know.
Yes.
I think that's.
We would
kinda
go back
fun.
down to 8 minutes. Would be the only thing.
Oh.
That's okay. Mid left.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Cool.
We got
cool.
it.
Yeah. All right. We got this. We got this.
Do you want fish cake?
Last time with
More
loads of
guns.
Is that what you
time to
want?
More guns.
We did.
More
We did.
guns.
It's true.
More guns.
spend. No.
I don't know if I
Okay.
can do more guns.
Oh, actually.
Okay. So yeah, you know.
Naughty.
We'll be fine. We got this. We got this.
Oh. I was gonna select the color pink. I wanna wear my pretty pink sweater. I know. Listen, everybody is.
Okay.
Game is vibe.
Pizza sushi. Pizza sushi.
Bye.
I'm going.
Pizza sushi!
I love that one. That's my favorite.
Kazushi! Kazushi! Da 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 da. I'm gonna try and look for a container that we need. Oh. Got it. Run! Alright, I got a container. Container? I hardly. Okay, we need G3M. What's the other one? Not in there. Where's the other one? There only one?
I got the rice.
Is there only one table? Oh crap. No, there's
no,
two.
There's two.
I can only see one on the
They're
menu.
both in that room.
They're both in here. Oh, I see the one in the corner. Okay. G3M and WX2. Okay. Shella, which one? No, she's not in here. Which one are
Oh my
you
God,
working
Mama
on?
has the knife.
Yeah.
What?
I'm
I
just
thought
getting bread
Tony
right now.
Tony
Oh.
was coming. I was trying to prepare.
Is Tony
Oh.
the bad guy?
I don't know. I thought he was being sus. Oh. Hey.
Why?
Hi. All right, I'll do WX2.
I'll go. I guess I'm back to going to. I'm just here.
I'm just here. WX2. I'm the bad. Why am I the bad guy? Oh. Okay. Okay. Gonna hide this over there. Shut up. Shut your mouth and when you're speaking to me because yup, that's what I'm doing. Hold on. I'm gonna sabo.
Okay. I'm doing brown rice first.
Okay.
Which one did he bring?
Okay. No, I still have to go out and grab it.
Okay, can you get WX?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll grab it. I'll grab it.
I'll get the cod.
Okay.
This is really fun.
What else are they working on?
I guess I have to stack two if I got it.
Hold on. Where do I actually have to go? All right, I do have to go this way. gonna leave that there.
Okay, I do have to go wash.
Where is pressure? All right, so I have to go to the blue for that. Where's everybody else? I haven't seen anybody else.
Red back, and blue? Question mark?
Yeah.
What do
maybe.
I, because the yellow just
So should I
works
put-
and a
Is
red
it working?
Yeah, I'm just watching.
You're just watching?
Maybe? I don't know. Oh!
Damn it!
They just both died and they both
They both died at the same time!
Did I actually kill you, or did you,
You
like, lose
must
stamina?
have! I did!
Why did you kill me?
Because I'm the descendant!
Oh my god.
I pulled my
I hate
knife
it
out
here.
so fast, but I guess
I
wasn't
kept trying to
fast
sabo you the whole time, Shell, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for it.
Oh my god.
I love that we died together though. That was really nice.
That's honestly, it was so romantic.
It was romantic. I don't think they're gonna finish.
Pizza's getting cold.
Oh, wait, there's Tony. Oh,
Okay, again.
oh, oh.
Wait,
Okay, bad.
Oh! I'm gonna win because y'all are
No.
bloodlusting.
Dan.
What?
Everyone, no, but like everyone else is dead.
Yeah, but why'd you get Everett?
Is it because of
Like-
you?
No,
Oh.
seriously,
Wait, no. Violet came in and tried to murder Momo and then they both exploded.
And then, okay, so I think
Oh,
it's
his
probably
sushi isn't
Violet.
even done?
Yeah, because Shella's
Oh my
dead.
God.
Shella
Pressure
is
too.
dead.
Okay.
So why did
Alright,
Tony
yeah,
kill
I'll-
Do
Everett?
you wanna go do
Just
sushi?
because he wanted to.
Oh my god. This is really bad.
Dead and stole to show up for
really
work.
quick.
Okay, I'll
This
try
is
to do
really
sushi.
freaking messed up, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, this is really.
This is
freaking
really
messed up.
awful.
Okay, I'm gonna watch Ron. See if he can figure it out.
I don't think that we're not winning. There's no way.
There's no way. There's 2 minutes left, and there's still
Well,
2
I've never done
Pazushi.
this one
I don't even know how
before.
to do Pazushi.
Use
Yeah,
your
you need
to
brain,
eat.
Ron.
I tried. I hit 3 containers.
Yeah, but he doesn't know which rice is on. It's the white.
Oh.
It's not the white rice. It's the brown rice.
Oh, that's gonna be all messed
Right now. Oh,
up.
he's gonna get the
So I
wrong
need the
thing.
G3M? No, I think
No,
that's what's saying?
no.
Yuki, I
no,
did die.
G3M.
No.
What is G3M?
I did die. I
Oh
think
my
I expired
God.
myself though
What is
because
G3M?
He doesn't know, chat. He doesn't know.
he has no idea.
I don't
He also
know.
doesn't have a container.
Yeah, he needs the container. Thanks. I did it myself, but also you did help me, darling. Chat, I would have lost if you didn't tell me I was the Sabo, so. Oh, there's Dan in his hips.
How do you know what the topping is?
It was Dan that killed Everett.
Yeah,
Did you
why
find
did he
the
do
topping?
that?
It was an accident.
G3M?
Oh,
I don't know
was
what that
it?
is.
No, he
The
got
press
the wrong
can
one.
exploded out of the thing
Okay.
and killed Everett.
Oh,
Wait.
thanks, Yuki. Yeah, he just likes to create chaos.
He doesn't even know. No. You need it raw, not the goo.
No.
You don't need the
Really?
goo form.
That's so easy to do.
And then he dropped it.
Oh, disappointing.
No, it's not.
Wait.
It's not
Okay, so
like
could it be
two.
anywhere or is it? Oh.
Damn
Oh,
it.
this is rice. I
Oh.
found rice.
The brown.
Oh, you found?
Wait, did you hide the
Yeah, I hit 3 of them.
That's
Is this
so
right?
funny.
He's doing the one
Is
for
this
the
right?
white rice, but he can't
Oh,
even do
that's
that
easy
right.
for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing anything with this.
You can just
Man can't do anything.
I know. Incompetent.
Oh my
Why
god.
does he have C4?
Should we just try and put
Because
rice
he
in?
wants it.
No, you can't.
Put the gun down.
Is it just gonna kill Dan?
I think so.
Kill Dan.
That's
Kill
the
Dan.
wrong one.
There it is. Yup.
Why did he do that?
With 3 seconds
The
left.
leaves in the icon.
I won.
Did it work out?
I won. I won. It was
That
me.
rough.
I won.
Congratulations, you did it.
You
and
did
you
it.
did it.
Killed Emrys.
Was that
I
fair?
accidentally
You're getting the
I
wrong
accidentally
thing.
killed
You did
Emrys.
I had the
Was
brown
that?
rice.
I didn't mean
Did you?
to.
Oh, you
Sorry.
didn't? I thought that was on purpose.
What was that?
No, it was
Oh.
an accident.
No,
Oh.
Can you hear
yeah,
me?
it's okay.
Yeah,
You're good.
yeah. Oh, I mean,
As somebody that has never won as imposter in Among Us, this is a big deal for me. This is a very big deal for me right now.
The recipe.
I'm really proud of
That's
myself.
So you're getting the wrong thing the whole time.
That's
It's
hilarious.
okay.
Aw.
Watching Tony and Dan run around, somebody in my chat was like, men can't do anything.
No, incompetent.
Can I just say, and this might seem really silly, but I've never done sushi before, which I think is not good. for me.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Excuses, I'll say it.
I agree.
What?
I never.
Yeah,
I've
one more.
never
I
done
mean,
in
we
the
can do
kitchen
like a few
before.
more if y'all would like.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
do
down for
more.
more.
You're a lady now. Look at those
I'm
hips.
literally,
Yeah.
you have me until
So what do you
Among Us
what does that
time,
mean?
so
What do you
that's
mean by
an
that?
hour.
Which is like
Remember?
7, right?
Look at those hips.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
what do
are,
you mean by that?
those are,
Okay.
chi-
I'm here
those are
for another
child-bearing
hour.
hips.
Unbelievable.
Are they?
Yeah,
Oh my
look at
God.
them.
So
They
what does that
are,
have to do
yeah.
with Kazushi, Momo?
Well, because women belong in the
Get
kitchen.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do it.
Wow.
You're a woman now,
Everyone's saying get in the
so-
kitchen. What? Everyone pointing at me is so scary.
Feel objectified.
Fucking nuts. It's like a horror
Yeah,
film.
get objectified.
Yeah.
I'd rather kill
Oh my
myself.
God. Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
You are now one of our elite employees.
Oh. Computers and alimentation.
Okay, I'm actually gonna try and do
I want
computers.
to try the
Actually, no.
all alimentations. I want.
All right, we'll try computers.
I don't know what that is.
Because I don't trust the others.
So that's in medical.
All right, so you got to go to medical.
Yeah, and then this one's going to the restaurant.
Okay, I'll go to the restaurant. Where am
Oh,
I?
wait, where's Office 5 at? I think it's over here.
All right, one's going to the restaurant, so I gotta go over there. Y'all hear that, or was that me?
Huh?
But no. Huh? Where is it in the restaurant? Waiting file from office 2. So it hasn't come over here
I
yet.
couldn't send it.
Why? Where are you?
I don't know. I think I can only do one at a time.
Oh, okay, yes, because it's waiting for file. That's what it said. I thought Dan might have been singing again. Just in case. You never know.
Oh no, I didn't find it. I just.
Maybe Shella's trying to, you know? I don't know if somebody died. I assume not. Press yes to finish the process. Okay, we did that one. Okay, that's successful. Now, restaurant. Sent to restaurant. Okay, now we gotta go back to the restaurant really fast.
Did you send it?
I did.
You
We
sent
gotta.
it?
Yeah, it worked. The other one worked. We have to go back to the restaurant now. See? Where was the computer again? Oh, it's right here. Okay. No! Verify!
I found it, by the way, Momo. I did it.
did it.
Oh, you did it.
All right.
Okay, I'm a loser, I
We
guess.
still have one more for computers.
Luckily, you needed a battery, so you could have also done it, but my battery was full.
Success. So is there a third for computers? Question.
Well,
I thought you.
oh, you have one too. Wait.
I wasn't gonna shoot
There's a
that
third
one
for
here.
computers.
Yeah, we're sitting here. We've been doing this back and forth. Emrys is over on the camera side, and once we send it, and then Emrys is over there waiting for.
Try it
We're
again.
doing file verification. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just keep going until it works.
Oh my god, what?
And
How
this is-
annoying.
This is the frustrating computer system I've ever
I
seen.
know.
Oh.
Alright, was sent to camera. Yay! Wow, that was fast. Who was the person? I'm a woman in STEM.
That was
So who was the person?
We locked in.
Anybody?
It was me. I spent that entire time pressing no on Tony's
Oh,
computer.
it's
tab,
you!
so you have to send it again.
Incredible.
Momo and I both had guns that were on a mission to find
Incredible
you.
work.
That's so diabolical.
It is.
I don't know who wanted to kill you.
I thought it was Shella.
that's
I thought
wild.
Shella was messing it up.
I wanted
No,
to
no,
do. I
no.
wanted to, like
No.
romantic murder.
I
Suicide.
don't believe
I
you.
like that. I like that. That was
So-
good. I would like that.
Sewer
I had
slide.
the C4. I was waiting
Sewer
for someone to
slide,
blow me
you know.
up, but I was just
romantic.
standing in the camera and hitting no.
you?
You picked the best person to troll. As somebody
Yeah.
that works with computers
Yeah.
on a regular
Tony was
basis,
losing his
that was
mind.
pissing me off. I was literally about to flip my own damn desk for that. Like, god damn it.
Oh my god! I need you to know though that it can't also just fail on its own.
You look
Yeah,
cute.
You like it?
I hit yes, and it was like file verification failed, and I was like,
Wait, you know what we need to do?
What?
Yeah.
We need to make a thumbnail, but we can't get out of our own bodies.
Oh, that's true.
So how do we
Oh,
make a
I always
thumbnail?
go and I just look over here. Well, also I got a little art of my guy to use for my main one. But
Oh,
I'll
that's
take a
smart.
screenshot of it.
I gotta
You still think it's
I got
not
a
very
thing of me.
natural
Oh,
looking. The
I think I
pose
actually
isn't very
went
natural.
last
No,
time.
it's a bit
I
whack.
went into Emrys's VOD and I got a screenshot from Emrys's VOD of me pointing.
Oh, that's
Okay,
incredible.
we can all line up and we can get like a
then
good
I've also-
thumbnail.
Yeah,
series.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I've also.
All right, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
From what angle? Straight on or side? From the side.
I don't know. What do you think's good for a thumbnail?
I think
I
from
mean,
the
I'll take
side
couple.
a little
I
bit.
did from the side. Emrys is in the way. No, wait, I think I got it.
You guys
I
can
got it.
submit
This is-
your
That's good.
my
thumbnail
circle.
submissions into the Discord.
Do it.
I'm gonna use you posing
Jackass.
here as for me.
Who's what?
Okay.
Who's what? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, do the thumb. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in the
Whoa, whoa,
Discord.
whoa, whoa.
Report in my chat said Tony's like, let me see the source
Can
code.
somebody do a
I
thumb
was
for me?
pissed.
Yeah. I can
You.
take a
I'm gonna
picture of
post
you.
in the Discord. Just give me a second. I'll do it.
Oh no, the cue to open your tablet's gonna be there though. But
Oh yeah.
I think you could probably get that out.
I think I'm gonna remove the background anyway, so that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
1 second.
Oh wait, somebody take a high quality. I need a better quality one of me. 'Cause
No.
mine's
I
really
love
stuck looking.
Let me try to get it. Let
No
me
wait,
try to
oh,
get it.
actually no wait. I want to do. I'm caught.
Thank you.
I want
Do
to
it again. Do it again, Violet. Do it again.
Do it again. All right, hold
Here's
on.
mine.
Painted is so. Someone in my chat that
I'm
said
getting
watching
you at,
YouTubers
like, an
get
angle
thumbnails is
that
like
it works.
watching the Mona
Okay.
Lisa getting painted.
Thank you.
Wait, who got me?
Oh
Who got
my
me?
God.
Who got me?
No, mine's better. Oh shoot, I
No,
actually.
mine's better.
I did it.
I didn't. I took it, but then it went away.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Violet, don't move.
All right, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. Thumbs up.
Take them.
Mine's better. You're gonna like mine better
Are you,
because it's
are you
better.
tweaking
what about
my
me?
neck?
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Wait, me.
Whoa.
Me.
Do you need one? Momo, you need one?
Yeah, I
All
want,
right.
I want
kinda
one
just,
with
you
the
know.
cot. Because I need one. I
With
want
the-
one better quality.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, mine's
No.
mine's gonna be a little
With what
potatoey.
consent, Emrys?
Oh, that's so
Sorry.
good.
With what consent, Emrys?
I'm
I got
just
you,
need you to
Momo.
know
Consent?
I'm smiling in real life. Thank
Yes.
you.
Perfect.
Thanks.
You guys like our thumbnail content?
Someone jorking? There's been so
Alright,
many
Matt,
people
everybody write that
jorking.
down. That's how you get thumbnails.
Absolutely incredible.
Write that down,
Make
write
your
that down.
friends-
How do you
make
get
your
thumbnails?
friends
Write that
help
down,
you.
chat.
Write that down.
Make
Write
your
it
friends
down,
help
write
you
it
take
down.
Write that
pictures
down.
and Screenshots and
Yeah,
get
Have your
I'm not
friends
writing
screenshot
anything
you
down.
mid-game.
I didn't get around to re-uploading the old VOD of this. I never got around to it. I exported it, never
Honestly,
uploaded
they
it.
did pretty well. They did
Unbelievable.
like
I
better than I was expecting.
Rude.
Maybe
Somebody
I'll
what it
did
is.
say, okay, wait, shout
Would
out
rec-
to the one person that commented on my YouTube of the last VOD saying that we needed to play this again immediately. This one's for you.
This one's for you.
This one's for you.
Oh, yeah,
Woo!
shout
That's
out.
so
Which says
good.
I have 0
This one's
followers.
for
Do you think
you.
that's true?
What?
What?
Which says I have 0 followers. Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You follow
Yeah.
I fear it is.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I didn't, you know, I didn't want to say it, but.
Alpha ratio.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Chat.
It's funny.
I love being able to more start this game and just be like, we're doing it now.
Nah, that's it. Then, try it.
Okay.
Analyze.
I'm gonna do vents, but I need some tools to do the vents with. I need a screwdriver.
What could you be looking for?
Why is that interesting?
I don't know.
Hey, I needed that.
Nope.
What? No. Oh, okay.
No, you don't.
Are you taking all of them?
Nope.
You took 2.
Nope.
You don't need to.
No, yeah, but when we work with on Preston together, we work.
Oh, nowhere else I can go.
Yeah.
We work well.
Is there another one? Chat. I think Shella's a little sus right now. I literally can't do the vents.
Any vents
There's vents over here.
that are broken?
No.
Well then, what the heck?
You can go and stand there and think about what you've done.
Okay.
Okay. What else can I do? What is analysis? Oh. Okay. Well, I guess I'll do that instead. I don't know where to go. They have no right being this funny. Everybody is so freaking funny. It's making me sick. It's actually making me nauseous.
Where do I clean this?
I also don't know what I'm doing over here. Ingredients requested. Oh, so I have to get this. Okay, so I'm gonna need jars. So I have to go back there anyway. This is chaos.
Yeah, it would.
You're gonna kill me now.
No, there's no ammo in this actually.
Random. Like, so it could be like this way.
I need. Anybody see any
I
jars?
wanted to-
Oh, I got one.
Oh wait, vent.
I don't.
There's a jar.
Oh, no.
Got one. Okay. We're gonna try. I feel like I need another one though. Don't I need more than one jar at one time? Maybe not. Okay, so we need BO4 and RU2. BO4 and RU2. Okay, so we need the blue ones and the red whatevers. Alright, so we need the blue ones, the blue and the red. Blue and the red. That's the red. This is the blue. So in the same jar? I don't know, I haven't done this yet. So that's a no.
Oh, yeah, it is good. It's good.
If I hold it, does that look better?
It kind of looks a bit
Or-
goofy. Do you want it from an angle? What angle do you want?
Oh god.
I don't know. Whatever.
Oh,
What happened?
what went on? I didn't do anything.
What happened?
I got this
What?
plant. I can't carry anything else. I
Okay,
have a
where
plant.
are these two at?
They're taking a screen. They're taking shots for Shella.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're good.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, just do this. Oh, I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna pocket it. I still don't know how to do this. Maybe I'm supposed to. Nope. Maybe I'm just supposed to put this here. Why don't you like this?
Yeah, actually.
I definitely did something wrong. Oh, maybe that was it. I knew exactly what I was doing this whole time. And now... Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to clean this.
Tony's dead.
Yeah.
Tony's dead.
What
Yeah.
happened there?
I don't know. I was doing plant
don't know.
stuff. Yeah. Well.
Mm.
Oh well.
Okay.
Broken vent.
Oh well. You know, you win some, you'll lose some. All right, so we need another BO4. No, what was the other one? I need the red one.
Mama's killing me!
Ah! Why did you hurt me? I didn't do anything.
I was trying to tell you.
Mama's dead.
Ah! Get away from me!
Violet, I'll save you.
No! Violet, remember me!
Oh. Did Mama kill themselves from the... I was gonna come and save you because I stole one of these.
I'm gonna point at them and laugh.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
Yeah. High
Ah!
five.
I mean, like, you had to be there, chat. Anyway. What? I don't know. I'm fixing the vents. Where's everybody else at, you think? Where everybody else is?
Okay, 1, 7.
You
5,
could do one
4.
that's good. Oh, nice. I was gonna say you could have done a guess that.
How y'all
instead of a bunch of
doing?
Numbers that you. Oh, hello.
Hi.
I hate this game.
I do too.
Did you kill Tony?
No.
Yeah, did you kill someone?
No. Well,
Are you sure?
The way this doesn't even look like a shotgun is crazy.
you know who I did kill? Oh.
Wait, did you know that the screwdriver does more damage to someone's back than does their front?
Yeah, it's really good for.
No,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you gonna shoot me? Is that what you're gonna do?
No, I'm not.
Doc, thank you
I
so
don't
much
even
for giving
deserve
us
it.
such a
Oh,
star. I
Yeah, by the way,
appreciate
I
you. Thank you
learned
so much.
that these
Yeah.
little
What?
crates-
Hi.
Oh,
these
yeah.
little-
Momo,
yeah, I didn't know
remember?
that these crates you can open these up.
Oh, you can?
How did you do
Oh.
that?
Yeah, you have to enter codes into the little computer, and it's like Wordle
Aw,
essentially. You
Look at my
type in
little,
4 digits,
my little friend
and it will
there.
tell you like if you at least
I
have the
don't
right
like
number.
that my face got removed. That's not like a quirky thing.
Oh.
I don't know how to play Wordle.
Yeah, I don't either. Not gonna wanna try.
Where are they?
Wait, Violet, what were you trying to say?
Where are
What happened?
Oh,
Oh, I almost peed my pants because you died. I need you to know that. Shella and I could not breathe. It was so funny.
Oh man.
We
It was
have
so
a
I
funny.
screenshot of
well,
you
we've
laughing over my body, so.
Everyone but us is dead.
Oh,
I froze. Thank you for the 30 months.
You wouldn't
by
see this.
the way.
Oh.
Oh wow.
oh. Well,
Actually. you
welcome.
wouldn't do this.
join us.
Join
Huh?
us.
What's
Wait,
happening?
Shit damage. That's just me. Sorry, I'm swearing. No, is it just me or does that do awful damage?
Dan.
Dan is on a
Is it actually
mission.
just us? Oh my god, we took the L so hard. Oh, you drop your item when you. Oh my god, I didn't realize you dropped your item.
Dan's having the time of his life. Your ghost has your face, but I want my face to have my
No.
face.
Hey, but I won, so haha.
Wow, that's crazy. Violet killed me out of
The
nowhere.
way that I walked in and I was
I don't remember that.
My next victim. And
I don't remember
said,
that.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
That's interesting.
That's.
You
Are you
killed me more
sure?
than
I didn't
anyone else.
realize that you
Are you
drop your
positive?
item when you,
Are you positive?
when you like get exhausted. You drop your item.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
drop
realize
it. You
that.
just like, it's
You
gone.
goes flying. When
Oh. That doesn't get old. I love doing that.
Oh,
Okay, I see the picture Momo took of us pointing and
That
laughing
is
at
so
their bodies.
funny.
It's really funny.
It is really funny. The rock ghost is also
We're at,
looking and laughing.
600's our next.
Oh.
The what is it?
600 is our next, and it is our vanilla short legacy. Nothing good about Mark. I hope you're doing well. Also,
I can't.
Oh.
You're saying a lot of things right now.
sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't muted. I'm talking about. Listen. I got my stuff going. I got my stuff going. Now I'm gonna go on the next one.
Let's
he's
go!
got us up goal.
Hell
Go,
yeah.
go, boy.
You know, my next
Can we
one
get
is
some,
like the Sims vanilla.
Can we get a shout out in the chat for Emrys? We're gonna be rating them after stream.
Is that-
Still.
is that actually
Like
hard
my-
for you?
Very girly pop.
Yeah, my mod color's 90 gigs.
I
wanna
can't.
see stuff.
I can't even believe it. I play, but I have vanilla
Analysis,
save.
pressure.
Okay.
I mean, I have a
Oh. I didn't mean to do that. Was that? Did I do that? I wanted to see the videos.
Watch everyone die around me.
maybe.
Unmodded.
Analysis. Ah.
Shallow, why do you have a red dot?
What? What? What?
Oh man.
Gonna just take this right here.
What did you just say?
What happened?
What did you just say?
I just said hello there.
Okay.
Okay.
Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself. Oh, hello, part of the family. We took it to you.
No, I was never good. We could have teamed up together. Evil.
Oh my god, that was so
Evil.
good. That was so good.
It's the vine boom for me. I know, the boom.
She ran herself to death. That was insane.
Oh.
You lie. I think Shella might be it. Oh my god. Silver, right? Thank you for the
Analysis.
shout out for Emrys.
Okay. I guess I'll go look at analysis.
Oh, maybe not. I'm gonna go float around and see some other people. There I am. Well. Hello? Oh? What's Tony plotting? Oh, he's actually working on stuff. Alright, never mind. Maybe it is Emrys? Where are people supposed to be? Oh, I can't see. Oh, analysis and ailment. Okay, so the green place. All right, there we go.
He's aware.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
What happened to you?
I heard you ran yourself to death.
No, Shella stabbed
Duck
me.
Dan killed me.
Oh.
Oh. You think it's them? Or do you think Duck Dan just killed me to kill me?
Oh,
Let's talk about
I
that.
think he killed you to kill you.
I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
that's so fair. That's so fair.
Hi.
This is
Hi.
Sarah,
dangerous.
thank you for the lurk.
Well, you know.
I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Analyzing. What are you doing?
Watching you.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's so creepy.
Just watching.
a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Can you pose a theory? Yeah, pose a theory. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Just
Oh.
watching.
Who killed you?
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Whoa, nice
try.
Why didn't you do that? Was he the bad guy?
I don't know. You didn't know I got that thing on me. No, that's it. Are you the bad guy? Yeah. Oh, no? Oh.
Well, I
I
won
knew
anyway,
it.
because what the hell
I
is this?
knew it.
Do that.
I do
You're not even
it. Wait.
bad.
You're not even bad.
Hi, Mama.
Now
Yo,
Shell's
I
gonna
can't
do
believe you have a
all
shotgun.
In 4 minutes, she can't do everything.
Killed by herself.
There's no way. There ain't no
This is the first
way.
stab I could have got you, I think.
I whipped it out so fast
Mama was
and
in
You actually
freaking
did.
blew you out of there.
Momo, that was
The way I had a
impressive.
pistol too.
I was impressed with myself, I'll say it.
I had a
That was
pistol
like
as well.
Are you
Incredible
are you-
work.
What
Wait,
did you want to kiss?
you guys.
Uh,
Do you want to like
uh,
kiss in our orb
I kind of want
form?
to. I actually kind of want to see if
Okay,
Shella's
maybe I
gonna
just go
finish
get one
this.
of those.
There's no way.
No.
I have to watch this first. Okay, why?
She has to do alimentations too. You never know where those are gonna be.
Oh.
Well, I was
Oh,
trying to
mortal
do
enemies,
one
that
until
is true.
someone killed me.
Yeah. Who was that
I was trying
someone?
to get-
Oh, it was Dan. Of
Well,
course. It
yeah.
always is.
the speed,
know?
the speed at which he came in and just tried to annihilate.
Yeah.
Wild,
Yeah,
crazy,
I
wild.
should have waited. I really should have
Yeah.
waited.
A little bit too
But
early.
how was I supposed to know that you had a shotgun?
You weren't. That
You
was
know,
the
I
point.
guess that's fair.
I saw it, picked it up,
I had
hid
a
it
gun.
away.
I had this revolver.
Did my little
I
task.
had- and I had a knife.
Am I the only one left?
I decided to be
Shella doesn't know she's the
inconsiderate
only
with
one
my- with
alive.
my kill.
No, you were
Shella
trying
coming
to.
to
You
the
were pulling like a
realization.
screen.
Yeah, she's like, wait, is it just me?
Yeah.
It is.
Am I the
It
only
is
one left,
indeed.
chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Shella.
You are.
Yeah, Shella.
It's
Unfortunately.
over. It's
It's Jover.
So wait, who ended up being
Mamma mia.
the
Is
descent?
it really? Am I
It
the
was
only one
Dan.
left?
it was me.
Oh, it was
me.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I ate Z.
You got
This
this.
is never happening. Three
This is
more
not-
analysis.
there's no
and
way.
two
No.
augmentations.
No way.
No one did
No,
augmentations,
not
by
happening.
the way, no one even tried.
No.
I found both
I'm-
of them so fast.
Tony was in the middle of doing the alimentation.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Oh, there she is.
She's doing it.
Yeah, she's trying. Hustling.
She really is hustling. This is kind of great.
Yeah.
I don't think I really have a chance of success here. Should I just
No,
kill
okay,
myself?
well, never mind.
Should I just
Boomerang.
kill myself? Well, you could.
Maybe I should just
Maybe.
kill myself.
That's so
Kelly,
clever.
you have so much to live for. No.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was Stella dying.
Yeah,
no.
me too.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Stan and Momo are here. I
Oh my
think
god.
Violet's dead.
What do you mean?
If somebody
You
else was
think you
alive,
killed
Shella,
me?
you would have seen somebody by now.
I can't believe this.
I'm alone? Are they all watching me?
Yeah.
Hey, Why
Yeah.
did you guys die?
I will say it's
You
not
killed
good
me!
when you know you're one of,
Shella,
when you know you're only
literally
one of
killed
few
me.
people.
What else do I need now? I don't even know.
I love the
wish
way
that
that you
this
move
was
around
like-
in this game. Even when you're dead.
I wish-
so
Me too.
good.
I like the orbs.
wish
They're
Did I
really
kill
funny.
Violet this round?
Yeah. I wish that the dissonance
I
could
remember
hear
this.
the
How much
ghosts.
blood?
Me
like in,
too.
like,
That
oh
honestly
my
would be
God.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm over this.
I'm over
How do I kill myself?
10 out of 10, chat. We lost. That was incredible.
You screaming,
Yeah,
let
let
me
me
out while
out!
trying to kill yourself is
Yup.
so...
You just shaking the knife around like
It was
how
so
do I do
good. Hey, y'all. I'm good for one more round.
Yeah, I think one more is good. I think
I'm
that's a
good
good.
for however many.
Yeah.
I'm good for however many.
Yes, let's do one more.
Okay.
Any
One more.
inconvenience.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. This has gotta be the
Okay,
best
okay.
yet.
Round, let's go.
Last round.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, I didn't get to fall. Chat, put some 69s in for last round. All right, we're gonna do it. He's sushi. He's sushi. I can't run that fast. We can't do that. His sushi.
Right.
Look at that.
Need jars.
I know what he's doing.
No jars. No nothing. Be over here.
Did you miss this? Oh wait, what
No.
was the other? Did you find it?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Oh,
No,
okay,
I didn't find it.
Oh, okay. What
I
the
thought-
pressure?
Did any of y'all see
I
jars?
thought I was looking. You thought I was looking for the trigger. I am always looking for that C4 trigger. I know.
Chat, how we feeling? What do you think of this game? Do you like it? Don't worry. Okay. I won't worry about it. Hello.
No
Oh, you
worries,
had
know?
jars. I was looking for the jars to try
I
and
got a
help.
jar. Where
Okay.
too? Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
I think there was another jar in there, maybe.
Oh, is
I
there?
don't know.
Okay.
Or over there. There's one over there.
Okay.
In this room right there.
Hello.
And now we have to wait.
Oh.
I got the room
Hi.
too.
Oh, there is one over here.
Too. Boop.
All right, I'll clean this one. Boop 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 doop. You love it? It's really fun once you get the handle on it. Though I will say some tasks are a lot easier than others. I would like to do this with even more people. I think that would be fun. I don't know what I should be Do we need more plants?
Yeah. Oh, it's the Y82.
Y82. Okay. So yellow. Y82. All right. So the yellow thing, whatever. This one. Got her. That pressure noise. I always think somebody is dying. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Violet has
Hello.
it?
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
Where do I put it in?
That one.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so Shella,
Mm.
how do I? What's the last one then? Where's the last one?
These two.
Okay, how do I? What is Y8Z and what is Room 2?
Those are the things in the garden.
And how do you figure out which one is which?
The giant
I'm
shark.
suspicious of what's going on over there.
There's a
Yeah,
shark.
wait.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, come here, come here.
okay, maybe it's fine.
Yeah, I think we should be okay. But you never know. It could be
I
you.
thought he was gonna kill Shello.
Well, it still could be happening.
That still could be happening.
Yeah.
It's just a
Don't
ruse.
discount it yet. Awesome.
Hooray.
Yay. Oh, we got both of them. Awesome.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so then pressure.
So I guess we could just go watch them do pressure.
Okay.
That's not.
Pressure.
Oh, they're dead.
Oh, well,
Or
they got one of them.
Emrys is dead.
They got one of them done.
Is so Dan's the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to hit buttons or do you want to look at stuff?
I'll hit buttons because I don't really know what I'm doing otherwise.
Okay, so I think. Oh, I don't. Wait, hold on. Stand over here
Okay.
while I hit buttons so
Okay.
I can just see what they do. No. No. Okay, wait. Oh, it's because there's a thing. Okay, so that goes in there.
Okay.
And then so it goes like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So up turns it on, down turns it off. So
Yeah. They're all green though,
yeah. Okay.
right? So isn't
Yeah.
that
So
good?
when you turn it on,
Yeah.
because we have to get the bar to go up.
Okay.
So when you turn it on, we have to look to see what's. How am I supposed to see this? Oh, careful, careful! If it explodes, you're dead. Oh wait, I think it's good. Is
It's
it
good
Is
for
it
right
chill?
now, I think. Right?
Hold on, let me go from this side.
I can't see it.
Okay, hit the. Hit. I can't. What do you mean, kill Dan? Okay, we gotta kill Dan.
Oh, all right. Oh.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. She just tried to cut him in and kill him.
I took
Okay,
care
well,
of them. All
look at
right.
that.
All right.
All
Let's finish
anyway,
this. Yeah.
back to business. Go and hit the up button again. I think.
Hit it again. Okay.
And then I'll tell you when to stop if need be.
Okay.
Okay, stop. Is it off?
It still says green. I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Okay, yeah, you just had to hit it again. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
these are wrong. I don't know how to. I don't know. I guess we just like move
Oh,
move
nope.
stuff around until
Okay.
it's right,
Okay.
and then put that in there,
Okay.
and then hit buttons again.
All right. How we doing?
Okay, keep going. Okay, turn it off.
Oh. Oh God.
Oh, I'm still alive.
Okay. It's okay. It's
I
okay.
didn't even think I was that close.
It's okay. It's okay.
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 Okay, well that was the problem.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
So we haven't even
So
done
let
this one
me.
yet.
I'm gonna take a red one from over here, maybe.
Okay.
And put that there. I don't. How
Sure.
did that hit me? I was so far away.
I had no idea.
Okay. I'm gonna be even further away.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right,
so
we're going,
try
we're
this
going.
again. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
How you doing? It's on? It's done?
Is it? I guess.
It's full.
Or
Yeah.
Does it have to be?
It's full.
Okay,
We're at max.
I guess that's it.
All right, 6. So then we just need to do this one over here.
Yeah. Wait, where'd that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
All right. All right. You get.
Okay.
You get back.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, stop.
Oh. Oh, it's the other yellow one. Does that mean that this should be switched then? All right, I'm gonna try. Mom. What happened? What happened to you? Did you die? Oh my god! Shoot! Oh. Oh my god! I killed myself by accident. Unbelievable.
Okay. We were
Crush it
literally.
before I staying alive.
Wow,
That was
so
it.
funny.
That was good. That was really good. I liked it.
Really good.
We really did
Violet,
try.
Violet, when you
tried,
pressed it
yeah.
and then you
Didn't get to
stepped
be the
out a
bad
step,
guy
I was like,
one
oh
time.
no.
I didn't
I
even
know, you
realize
were
I was that close. I had no
If you
idea.
can see it at all, it will kill you if you don't like hit it back down.
Okay. I turned
Yeah,
around because I
that's
was
a
talking to
down
Momo and I
arrow.
was like, Momo, I was like, oh.
And then Violet was
They're
gone.
dead.
Oh my god.
Whoopsies. Hey.
Did you die?
Hey, hey.
Yeah, that
Can
was
everybody
really
put your
funny.
hands up for a second?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to
You wouldn't know.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Empress. Happy
Scared. I'm so scared. I'm so
Fireworks! Fireworks!
Fireworks! Fireworks! Fireworks! Fireworks! Fireworks!
Fireworks!
That was incredible.
Oh, I gotta go. I don't like this one anymore.
Oh,
I don't.
Man.
Birthday. Oh, thank
Birthday.
you. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you all for playing with
Happy
me.
birthday, sweetheart.
Birthday.
Big smooches.
When
Yeah,
can
yeah,
we
yeah,
line
yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
then you can twist our nipples as before we go?
What?
Okay.
What?
One for you.
Okay.
One for you.
Anybody else?
Any other takers?
Anyone else want it?
Yay!
Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. That's what
All right,
I
all right,
Bye. Thank
all
you
right.
so much for playing.
I love y'all. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. Bye.
I never remember how to play. Wait.
Oh, I quit the lobby. I meant to quit the game. Y'all, that was so goddamn fun. I hope that you had a great time today, too. I really, really do. Okay. You're not gonna go anywhere because we're gonna be raiding Emrys for his birthday. Did you tell me not to look in mod, by the way, or you want me to look in there now? Oh, that's stuff for later. Okay. Can y'all help me out? Yes, post what Lauren is doing. If you do not have emotes for the channel, feel free to just put in happy birthday. Happy birthday, Momo. Otherwise, if y'all want to copy and paste this. Here, I'll plop it. Oh, apparently it exceeds the character limit? What do you mean? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So copy paste that and we'll bring everybody over, okay? We're gonna be live tomorrow. I'm not feeling super hot, super fresh because am having cramps from out of space right now. However, we're gonna hang out. I'm gonna vibe, probably be makeup free, have my heating pad on. We're gonna have coffee, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna play Hello Kitty Island Adventure tomorrow. I hope that's okay with everybody. I know I promised Infinity Nikki, but what if instead we followed our Heartfire instead? How does that make people feel? Is that cool? Is that cool with all of you? Is that okay? All right, we've got the raid going. Let's all go over and say hey, hi, hello to Emrys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you again for the raids. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subarooskies. Hope all of y'all have been having a great day. And I hope the vibes continue over with Emrys, okay? Be good and kind to yourselves and each other. I'll see you tomorrow. I love y'all. Take care. Bye. Love you.